Chapter 260. A burly and strong man glared at Lin Xian and Linglong Shui. He waved his saber and shouted, "Get lost! Those who defile the Empress will die. Everyone rush forward." Linglong Shui frowned. She was about to be attacked. At this moment, the woman on the ice bed suddenly opened her beautiful eyes. A terrifying aura spread in all directions. Plop! Lin Xian flew out and landed below the altar. Linglong Shui's veil was blown away by the force, revealing her beautiful face. "I'm so King miserable today." Lin Xian got up from the ground. "Greetings, Empress." Everyone in the surroundings half knelt and saluted. Even the other millions of lions hundreds of meters away half knelt on the ground when they sensed this force. "Greetings, Empress." The high-pitched voice penetrated the ice wall and traveled over. Lin Xian was speechless. Then he raised his head in shock and leaped up. The woman slowly sat up on the bed and looked at Linglong Shui, who was beside her. In the next second, she reached out her slender arms to Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui frowned. She did not understand. Seeing that Linglong Shui did not respond, the woman slowly stood up and hugged Linglong Shui. "I have finally waited for you." The woman hugged Linglong Shui. Her noble and gentle voice traveled over. Lin Xian. Lin Xian, who was standing at the side, was dumbfounded. He could feel a strong sense of pulling at his heart. F***ck. So Linglong Shui and the Empress had such a story. This girl pretended not to know her. She pretended not to care. She probably came to Deep Cold Valley to look for her. She even pretended to experience human life and followed them here. Pooey. Pickled pepper chicken feet. He did not expect Linglong Shui to be. Lin Xian held back his laughter. Linglong Shui pushed her away and said coldly, "Who are you?" Hey. You're too much. Stop pretending. She's been waiting for you for so long." Lin Xian smiled and said to Linglong Shui. The girl glanced at Lin Xian with an innocent look on her face. "What am I pretending for?" Linglong Shui did not understand Lin Xian's words. "You said you came to Deep Cold Valley to experience human life. You must be here for her." Linglong Shui was smart and quick-witted. Even though it was such a profound thing, she still understood what Lin Xian was trying to say. Bastard! She was furious. She swung her hand at Lin Xian and released a wave of energy. This power might not be able to take Lin Xian's life, but it would definitely hurt him. Whoosh! The Frost Empress released an ice crystal and blocked Linglong Shui's energy. "Aren't you here to look for me? You said you were going to do something big and asked me to wait for you for 1,000 years. You also said that the first person I would see when I woke up would be you. I'm awake, but why don't you admit it?" The Frost Empress's beautiful eyes reddened. Linglong Shui was going crazy. Lin Xian and now a crazy woman. What did she do wrong? Lin Xian frowned. It did not seem to be what he thought, because looking at Linglong Shui's expression and her embarrassment just now, she wasn't faking it. Then what was going on? Linglong Shui's gaze fell on the spot next to her pillow. The yearning flower. Linglong Shui understood. The lovesickness flower was a very special existence. It could preserve the lovesickness of a person who was in a deep sleep. The moment it awoke, the first person it saw would fall deeply in love with it. Obviously, Linglong Shui was the first person it saw. That yearning would correspond to the first person it saw, and this kind of thing could not be reversed. The only way was to go back to sleep and wake up again. That would take another 100 years. Linglong Shui stretched out her hand, and the yearning flower flew into her hand. She threw it at Lin Xian. Lin Xian caught it. Linglong Shui said, "The yearning flower can sleep for 100 years. When it wakes up, it will fall in love with the first person it sees, regardless of gender." Linglong Shui did not know why she had to explain this to Lin Xian. It was baffling. Lin Xian. There was such a thing. But Linglong Shui had no reason to lie to him. In Lin Xian's eyes, it was fine if the person sleeping here was a woman. However, if it was a man sleeping here, the first person he would see would be Lin Xian. Lin Xian shuddered at the thought of this. It was too scary. But the truth was in front of him. The Frost Empress had indeed fallen in love with Linglong Shui. Since Linglong Shui knew the reason, she also understood the power of the yearning flower. She would not blame the Frost Empress. She could only sigh. At the same time, anger rose in her heart. The person who had tricked her into sleeping here 800 years ago was definitely a scumbag. She was so infatuated that she used the yearning flower, because she believed that the first person she saw would be him. But that person went back on his word. As a woman, Linglong Shui understood and sympathized with her. "What's your name?" Linglong Shui asked. You even forgot my name." The Frost Empress's eyes reddened. Lin Xian hurriedly explained. Beauty. She met with an accident and lost all her memories." This was a white lie. Lin Xian also felt the Frost Empress's infatuation. The deeper the love, the deeper the hurt. "I've wronged you." The Frost Empress slowly reached out her hand to Linglong Shui and caressed her face. Lin Xian held back his laughter. "Ha ha ha. Linglong Shui actually had such a day. Ha ha ha." Linglong Shui grabbed the Frost Empress's hand and let go of her. "Mo." The Frost Empress reached out her hand. "Lin Xian." "Ha ha ha." Lin Xian could not hold back his laughter. "If you laugh again, I'll kill you." Linglong Shui said coldly to Lin Xian. "Ha ha. I don't want to." "Then what do you want to do?" Lin Xian held back his laughter and asked. "She's an infatuated woman. If I hurt her, it might cause irreversible and unimaginable consequences. Before I find a solution, I'll take her with me." A woman with deep and strong feelings. If Linglong Shui did not care about her and abandoned her, she might kill everyone in her fury. She might even end her life. This was something that could not be controlled. Linglong Shui felt that this matter was caused by her. If she did not care, it would cause serious consequences. She did not want to be the sinner. No, it was caused by Lin Xian. She was just unlucky. After that, Linglong Shui walked away and started to doubt her life. The Frost Empress wanted to chase after her, but was stopped by Lin Xian. Frost Empress. The Frost Empress could see that Lin Xian and Linglong Shui's relationship was not normal. Naturally, she treated Lin Xian well. "You can call me Lingyue." "Lingyue is your name." "My name is Bing Lingyue." Lin Xian coughed and said, "She lost her memory, so she doesn't recognize you. Don't blame her. It's normal that she can't accept it." Bing Lingyue nodded slightly. What do you plan to do next?" "I just want to follow Mo." Don't call her Mo, call her Linglong." "Linglong. In my memory, his name is not Linglong." Bing Lingyue frowned. Chapter 261. Lin Xian was shocked. The power of the lovesickness flower was really strong. This kind of expert could even directly turn her yearning into love for Linglong Shui. "Do you remember if the person you like is a man or a woman?" Bing Lingyue was speechless. She lowered her head and pondered. Then she looked up at Lin Xian and said, "Anyway, it's her." F***CKU. Lin Xian knew that with Linglong Shui's ability, there would be a way for her to return to normal. It was just a matter of time. Besides, Lin Xian didn't mind if it was a woman or a woman. Ha ha ha. When he thought of having Bing Lingyue by his side to annoy Linglong Shui all day long, Lin Xian felt great. Wait. He had triggered a mission about Bing Lingyue. Different from other missions, her mission was to push her down. She didn't even have to confess her love. What the F***ck should he do? She was the empress who liked Linglong Shui. She was a powerful expert. How could he push her down for no reason? Lin Xian couldn't feel happy anymore. Bing Lingyue must have liked men before. But because of the lovesickness flower, the first person she saw would be the one she loved the most. She trusted that man and his words. She believed that the first person she saw when she opened her eyes would be him. But unexpectedly he didn't come. He felt sorry for her, who was so infatuated. Did she change her name because she lost her memory? Is that why she didn't remember her name? She used to be called Lin Mo, Bing Lingyue asked Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, but as a woman, don't you think it's awkward for you to like another woman? Bing Lingyue shook her head. I only know that if I like someone, I have to fight for it. What about children in the future? We can adopt. Lin Xian was speechless. Amazing. Then, Bing Lingyue took a few steps forward. The people who were still kneeling down shouted loudly again. Greetings, Your Majesty. Bing Lingyue had the aura of a ruler. That aura was different from Linglong Shui's. Perhaps only the empress of a country could have that kind of aura. Bing Lingyue's temperament was noble and elegant. Ling Longshue's temperament was noble and cold. The two of them were somewhat similar, but Bing Lingyue's temperament was more like Lin Ye's. Thank you for following me for all these years. Now I have found the person I love and will leave this place. We pledge our lives to follow the Empress. Bing Lingyue glanced at them one by one, then said indifferently, You have all fallen. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. This is your final destination. You don't need to follow me anymore. Thank you for following me all this time. After that, Bing Lingyue waved her hand and released a power from the blue necklace on her chest. This power froze everyone. Bing Lingyue looked at the people below for a long time. No one knew what she was thinking. There are so many people. They are all your army. Why are they here with you? Bing Lingyue shook her head slightly. Back then, she personally sent me here and watched me sleep. But I don't know why they are all here. After so many years, they should have reincarnated. In fact, one thing was for sure. Back then, Bing Lingyue was the empress of an empire on planet Aqua Blue. She had great power. But for a man, she chose to give up everything and freeze here for 800 years. To be honest, not everyone had such courage. Lin Xian was really impressed. You remember the name Lin Mo? Can't you remember what he looks like? Bing Lingyue turned to look at Lin Xian. She stared at him for a few seconds. Then, her eyes fell on Ling Longshue, who was observing the surroundings. She pointed at her and said, Isn't that her? Lin Xian was speechless. Tortoise, this lovesickness flower was too perverted. She still had memories, but it had forcibly distorted her memories. It had forcibly changed the person she loved the most into another person, and even a woman. Amazing. Lin Xian wanted to get a lovesickness flower. Maybe it would be effective in picking up girls. Whoosh, Ling Longshue looked around and seemed to have found something. Then, her slender hand pressed against the ice wall. Click, click, click. There was a hidden compartment in the ice wall beside her. It slowly opened like a drawer. Ling Longshue reached in and took out a delicate rolled-up paper. Lin Xian and Ling Longshue landed beside her. She opened it. When she saw what was on it, she frowned slightly. Then, she raised her head and looked at Lin Xian in front of her. Why are you looking at me? Lin Xian was creeped out by her stare. Ling Longshue wouldn't look at him on purpose. Ling Longshue didn't say anything. She just threw the paper to Lin Xian. Lin Xian took it and muttered, Weird. Then, Bing Lingyue said gently to Ling Longshue, This is the painting I made for you. Lin Xian looked over and frowned. It was a man in white holding a fan, and a light sword at his waist. Although it wasn't a video but a painting, Lin Xian immediately understood why Ling Longshue looked at him. Whoosh! Hearing Bing Lingyue's words, Ling Longshue released a bit of her power, and the painting turned into dust. Emo, Ling Long, you don't like it? Bing Lingyue was saddened by the scene. Ling Longshue said faintly, The person is here, the painting doesn't need to be. Hearing Ling Longshue's words, Bing Lingyue smiled faintly. From what she knew, Ling Longshue treated her coldly, because she had lost her memories. Ling Longshue had lied to her, because she didn't want her to find out the truth, while waiting bitterly. That was why she had chosen to play the role of Ling Longshue. It was also to prevent herself from becoming a sinner. Lin Xian lowered his head and thought to himself. Bing Lingyue's painting skills were outstanding. When Lin Xian saw the person in the painting, he even thought it was him. Only the hairstyle was different. Lin Xian admitted that his appearance wasn't common. That was why Ling Longshue's first reaction was to look at Lin Xian when she saw the person in the painting. She also thought that the person in the painting looked like Lin Xian. Coincidence? Lin Xian thought. Other than coincidence, what else could he explain? In Bing Lingyue's memory, the person in the painting was Ling Longshue. In her memory, the person in the painting was the person she loved. The reason why Ling Longshue didn't let her see it and destroyed it was because if she saw the person in the painting and saw a completely different person, she would fall into deep thought. Between telling her the truth and lying to her, Ling Longshue chose the latter. She wasn't a bad person. As a woman, she understood the pain of a girl's yearning. Ling Longshue sympathized with her. At least for now, she would hide this matter with Lin Xian. Chapter 262. Ling Longshui looked around and said, "There's nothing worth staying here anymore. Most of the ice energy is released by the necklace. Only a small amount is released by the 10,000-year ice heart. After we leave, the 10,000-year ice heart will still exist. Deep Cold Valley will still exist, but the area will shrink and the ice energy will weaken." The 10,000-year ice heart was the bed that Bing Lingyue was sleeping on. "Can we take it with us?" Lin Xian felt that the 10,000-year ice heart was a good item. It would be a waste to leave it here. Deep Cold Valley is where millions of people are buried. Let's leave the 10,000-year ice heart here to protect them. All right. Then they walked back to where they came from. As they walked past the millions of people who were sealed in ice, Bing Lingyue glanced at them. No one knew what she was thinking. "Xiao Linglong, what do you plan to do next?" Lin Xian whispered to Ling Longshui. Ling Longshui knew what Lin Xian was asking about. It was about Bing Lingyue. "I'll take care of her. Don't tell me you've fallen for her too? What should I do?" Ling Longshui, "Shut up if you don't want to die. Why don't I help you two take a picture again?" The corner of Lin Xian's mouth curled up into a sly smile. "Don't you dare," Ling Longshui said coldly. "Ha ha ha, I'm kidding." Lin Xian scratched his head and laughed. He had found another joy in life, and that was to tease Ling Longshui. Every time he saw her angry but unable to do anything, it felt so good. It felt so much better than meow xiao meow. "That's you in the picture," Ling Longshui said to Lin Xian. "Don't be ridiculous. It's just a picture. How is that possible?" Lin Xian shook his head and refuted. "He's Lin Mo. You're Lin Xian." Lin Xian. "Hey, this is too fake. I had to release a great deal of power to enter the teleportation array outside. But you were able to enter it easily." Ling Longshui gave Lin Xian another explanation. Lin Xian. "It can't be. Did he really just place his hand into the formation and enter?" Ling Longshui, an existence of the virtuous stage, even used a lot of strength to enter? "Big sister, I've only lived for 21 years, but he's someone from 800 years ago. You're digressing. It's just a coincidence." "I hope so. But what kind of existence was Ling Longshui? The great virtual realm. There were too many incredible things in this world. In the eyes of others it was impossible, but in her understanding, it was incomparably possible. In short, she felt that her guess was reasonable. But Lin Xian felt that it was too fake. No matter what, he came from Earth. How could he have anything to do with her? "By the way, Xiao Linglong, there's something I want to ask you. Do you know Xue Qilin?" Lin Xian asked other people this question, but they didn't know. Ling Longshui is a monster, and is such a strong existence. It stands to reason that she should know. "You actually know Xue Qilin?" Ling Longshui looked at Lin Xian in surprise. "Xue Qilin, this term may exist on Earth, but on planet Aqua Blue, this term absolutely does not exist, at least not in the knowledge of humans." No wonder Ling Longshui was surprised. I know." When he heard Ling Longshui's words, Lin Xian knew that she knew Xue Qilin. "I was saved by a Xue Qilin before, so I wanted to ask you about it." "Saved you?" "Yes, it's this big, cute, super cute, and pure white all over. It's estimated that it can slap a dozen meters away." Lin Xian is still gesturing. Ling Longshui and Lin Xian seemed to be familiar with each other. Previously, she didn't bother to pay attention to Lin Xian, but now she will even talk to Lin Xian. "Impossible. How could Xue Qilin save you?" Lin Xian. "It's true. That can't be Xue Qilin." Lin Xian frowned. "You think so? Have you seen it?" "I haven't seen the true body." "Then what are you talking about?" Ling Longshui. Boom! A terrifying force rushed past Lin Xian's ear and blasted a huge hole in the ice wall in the distance. Lin Xian, Bing Lingyue, who was looking at her army, quickly looked over and then chased after Ling Longshui. She subconsciously wanted to take her arm, but after thinking about something, she put down her hand. The main thing is that both women are unimaginably beautiful and have noble temperaments. If Bing Lingyue were to take Ling Longshui's arm, the scene would be unimaginable. "What's wrong?" Bing Lingyue asked Ling Longshui in a soft voice. "Nothing," Ling Longshui said faintly. Bing Lingyue didn't ask anymore. Lin Xian is sure that Ling Longshui doesn't dare to touch his hand, so he leaned over and asked, Hey Xiao Linglong, tell me, what is that Xue Qilin? Linglong Xue ignored Lin Xian. Little Bing Bing, control her, she's rude. Bing Lingyue. Anyway, she feels that the relationship between Lin Xian and Linglong Xue is not ordinary. Even if they are friends, Bing Lingyue has to be respectful to Lin Xian. This is her way of doing things. Now that they are sisters, Bing Lingyue feels that it's okay. At least she can always stay with Linglong Xue, right? If you don't say it, I'll spank you. Lin Xian said from behind. Hearing this, Bing Lingyue and Linglong Xue frowned at the same time. Bing Lingyue frowned because he wants to spank the person she likes, while Linglong Xue is angry. But Bing Lingyue doesn't know why. But she can't get angry. It's as if it's nothing, right? Linglong Xue still admitted defeat. She doesn't think that Lin Xian is just joking. He really dares to. Then Linglong Xue said while walking forward. 3 years ago, Xue Qilin organized a monster race myriad monster assembly. All the powerful existences of the whole continent went. I was there at that time. Myriad monster assembly, what's it about? You don't need to know. In short, it has nothing to do with humans. Okay. Linglong Xue continued. At that time, although Xue Qilin didn't show up, but she was the one who organized the assembly. I didn't see her, but I know that she should be a young girl. As for what her true body looks like, I don't know. A girl. By the way, she should have a great appeal in your monster race, right? Linglong Xue nodded. That's right, Xue Qilin is equivalent to a monarch of the monster race, one of the strongest bloodlines. At the same time, she should be extremely strong. She has a great say. Neutral? Yes. How to say it? This information is actually useful for one thing, and that is to confirm the existence of Xue Qilin. As for whether it's that one, I don't know. Is Xue Qilin a race? Lin Xian asked doubtfully. Chapter 263. Linglong Xue shook her head. As far as I know, there is only one Xue Qilin. If that's Xue Qilin, then it should be the one Linglong Xue mentioned. Lin Xian muttered in his heart. Thank you. Lin Xian said faintly. Linglong Xue was slightly surprised that Lin Xian actually thanked her. Well, can you take me to see her? Lin Xian asked. Linglong Xue frowned slightly, and then shook her head. I can't because she won't see you. That's not necessarily true. Then Lin Xian looked at Linglong Xue's expression, and then said, Forget it, there's no need to trouble you. Linglong Xue then said to Lin Xian faintly, It's always Xue Qilin who invites others to see her. Very few people take the initiative to see her. I got it. Since they can't see her now. But that doesn't mean they won't see her in the future. Lin Xian has already gained a lot on this trip. He has advanced to the 9th star arcane body realm, and unlocked the power of water and ice. As for the strength of his grasp, Lin Xian isn't sure. It shouldn't be strong, but if combined with a powerful martial skill, it shouldn't be weak. As for martial skills, there is the Ice Immortal Art for Ice Attribute Martial Skills, which requires completing Bing Lingyue's mission. The 3 people passed through the teleportation array and arrived at the outside world. When the power inside disappeared, the cold force of the deep cold valley outside suddenly decreased. Now Ling Ying and the others are panicking because they can't reach Lin Xian. Lin Xian is also speechless. He feels that he can't bring his mobile phone out in the future. Every time it's broken. This time, the mobile phone directly broke from the cold. This is also the reason why they can't contact Lin Xian, mainly because the cold force inside is too strong. They didn't expect that their only hope is that Linglong Xue can protect Lin Xian. Linglong Xue put on the veil again, then pondered for a moment, and handed one to Bing Lingyue. Hey, why are you wearing a veil? Lin Xian felt so good looking at the 2 super beauties that he could die from pleasure. Although wearing a veil made them look more beautiful, Lin Xian still liked the way they looked without it. That's none of your business. Linglong Xue retorted. I'm just thinking. You are so beautiful, is it not a waste of your looks? Moreover, the more you wear a veil, you will attract more attentions in the human world. Xue decisively ignored Lin Xian. Bing Lingyue was dumbfounded by what she heard. What human world? What demon world? She doesn't understand. In her era, it was still the era of humans. Demon beasts exist, but they are very few and very weak. Strong ones basically don't appear. Who would have thought that after all these years, the outside world has become like this? Later you two follow me. I will bring you to eat good food and have fun. Originally, Linglong Shui was still hesitating whether to continue staying in the human city, but she met Bing Lingyue. Bing Lingyue is a human, she can't bring her to the demon world. At least not now. Therefore, she may have to stay in Tianhua City temporarily. She doesn't know anything about the human world, so she may really need Lin Xian's help. Needless to say, Bing Lingyue doesn't know anything, because the era she lived in is completely different from now. Eating, drinking, playing, and even the money spent is different. Right, little Bing Lingyue, what's your realm? Lin Xian asked curiously. Bing Lingyue doesn't know how to address Lin Xian. Of course, she can't accept it. However, the relationship between Lin Xian and Linglong Shui is not ordinary, so she doesn't really care. Bing Lingyue glanced at Linglong Shui, then said to Lin Xian, I am about to enter the higher virtual realm. Lin Xian. Actually, it is similar to what Lin Xian guessed. Turtle, a higher virtual realm. An existence that is about to enter the higher virtual realm. As far as Lin Xian knew, there weren't many people who could cultivate on planet Aqua Blue many years ago. They had to meet very strict conditions before they could cultivate. Their cultivation method was the same as on Earth. They used meditation and other methods. They didn't use the God spawn system to kill monsters and increase their EXP. No one knew why the God spawn system descended. It was because of an outbreak of monsters. One day, the God spawn system descended upon everyone. Otherwise, only a small number of people could cultivate normally, and humans would have been ruled by the God's child system. Bing Lingyue naturally doesn't know about this. Her memory is still stuck in the past. In human society, there must be many people like Bing Lingyue. They have lived for hundreds of years, but Lin Xian doesn't know if they are still cultivating normally or relying on the God's child system. Lin Xian doesn't know, but it doesn't matter. He only needs to know that the God's child system can also cultivate. Normally, the cultivation speed of the God's child system should be much faster than meditation. This is because you only need to kill God's child system. As long as you kill God's child system, you can improve faster. The three of them came to the deep cold region and saw the two girls, Ling Ying and Miao Xiao Miao. Lin Xian. The two girls saw Lin Xian and quickly ran over. It's okay, Lin Xian said. Bastard. I swear I will never come out of the God's child system with you again. Ling Ying glared at Lin Xian. Every time she came out with Lin Xian, Ling Ying would always be on tenterhooks. Lin Xian, on the other hand, was recklessly heading towards a dangerous place. It's okay. With Xiao Linglong here, it's very safe. Otherwise I wouldn't dare to go in. Lin Xian said. Xiao Linglong. The corners of Lin Xian's mouth twitched as he quickly said, and nothing. This way of addressing her was a little too intimate. Ling Ying and Miao Xiao Miao looked from Linglong Shui to Bing Lingyue. Where did this woman come from? Looking at her figure and temperament, she did not lose to Linglong Shui at all. You two go out of the deep cold valley first. Remember to wait for me. Let's go back to Tianhua City together. Lin Xian said to Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue. Linglong Shui did not reply and directly walked out. Bing Lingyue glanced at Lin Xian, and then followed Linglong Shui out. What's going on? Miao Xiao Miao came over and asked, and the cold energy suddenly weakened. It even returned to the cold energy of Deep Freeze Valley. Did you find the treasure inside? Ling Ying asked. The treasure is her. Lin Xian pointed at Bing Lingyue, who was wearing a red, blue, and white dress. What do you mean? That woman has an extremely powerful natural treasure with frost energy. She has been sleeping in the deep cold valley. The frost energy in the deep cold valley has erupted because of her. It can even be said that it was formed. Of course, the deep cold valley returned to normal after she left. Lin Xian said. The two girls were stunned as they listened to him. So you didn't find the treasure? We found it. It's her. Lin Xian pointed at Bing Lingyue. Chapter 264. Miao Xiao Miao and Ling Ying looked at each other. And then, And then I'm going to lick her boots. She's a heavenly venerable who's about to step into the virtuality stage. Perhaps she'll become a powerful force to protect Tianhua City. Get lost. Bootlick her. Ling Ying scolded. Hehe, the main thing is I'm thinking for Tianhua City. How do you know she's a good person? Miao Xiaomiao glared at Lin Xian and asked. She's someone from 800 years ago. The two girls. 800 years ago? True, a heavenly venerable can live for thousands of years. What does that have to do with her being a good person or a bad person? One look and I can tell that you don't study hard. 800 years ago, it was the era of war between the vassal kingdoms. She was the queen of a certain kingdom at that time. And she was also a human. It was reasonable for her to protect the human race. So I had to beat around the bush and talk to her about this. Alright, even if you have any ulterior motives, I don't think you can do it. Ling Ying rolled his eyes at Lin Xian and said. Needless to say, Lin Xian really did have some improper thoughts. Right, give me a few lollipops. Lin Xian extended his hand to Ling Ying. Ling Ying was slightly taken aback. He took out a few lollipops and placed them in Lin Xian's hand. He asked, You're not going to bribe her with these, are you? Lin Xian grinned. Maybe it'll work. Tisk. Ling Ying did not believe him. If it was a little girl, Lin Xian might be able to pull it off. But who were the two of them? Two incomparably powerful existences, noble women and honorable statuses. How could Lin Xian deceive them? Ling Ying did not believe him. The three of them left Deep Cold Valley. Brother Xian. Lin Xian walked over and said, Let's go back. There's nothing left in Deep Cold Valley. We've got some deep cold spiritual crystals. In fact, they would be satisfied if they could obtain some deep frost spirit crystals. Brother Xian, who is that person? Chu Meng came over and asked expectantly. The former empress of some country. Don't think about it. He can slaughter an entire city with a flick of his finger. Chu Meng. F***CK. Don't tell me she's the one who caused this to happen in Deep Han Valley? You could say that, but it's fine now. It's best to keep this matter a secret. I know. It didn't matter if other people knew about Bing Lingyue or not. But it was best if they didn't know. For Lin Xian, his target was Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue. He wanted to increase his favorability with them. However, today in Deep Cold Valley, Lin Xian felt that it was a success. Although he had angered Linglong Shui many times, her favorability did not continue to drop. Moreover, Linglong Shui would talk to Lin Xian. She could even leave with Bing Lingyue. But she did not. They were really waiting nearby. Their speed was not slower than a car. But they still waited. Wasn't this good news? This was definitely Linglong Shui's decision. Bing Lingyue listened to Linglong Shui. The more he thought about it, the more ridiculous it became. The first person the empress saw when she woke up was a woman. Then, because of the love flower, she fell in love with Linglong Shui. The empress of a generation, extremely noble, followed Linglong Shui like a little daughter-in-law. Linglong Shui was helpless, but she had to take responsibility, not for Bing Lingyue, but for her actions. If it wasn't for her, Bing Lingyue would not have woken up so quickly, right? Lin Xian felt that since Linglong Shui had such intentions, it proved that she was actually a very good person. Everyone pack up. We're going back. Wang Ba said to the few of them. Then, Lin Xian said to Ling Ying, Little Ying Ying, send a message to my sister to let her know that you're safe. Don't worry. I already told Sister Linya that your phone was broken. Ling Ying rolled his eyes. So considerate. Lin Xian wanted to hug Ling Ying and kiss him, but the place was not right. I'll go talk to them first. After that, Lin Xian walked towards two girls who seemed to be whispering not far away. Ling Ying and Miao Xiaomiao looked at Lin Xian walking over, and were jealous. Ding. Felt Miao Xiaomiao's jealousy. Scumbag man points plus 10,000. Ding. Felt Ling Ying's jealousy. Scumbag man points plus 20,000. Lin Xian was helpless. He had no choice. He had to do the quest. One was related to whether he could have the water and ice attributes. The other was related to whether Lin Xian's level would be reset to 0. Although it was a little shameful, if he did not do it, the consequences would be unbearable. The system was obviously a good thing, and the rewards were also good things. But why was there such a big punishment? Lin Xian had not walked over yet. For some reason, the two girls did not sense Lin Xian coming over. They probably did not use their divine sense. Then, Lin Xian heard Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue whispering. Be careful of that Lin Xian. He's not a good person. He's a shameless pervert. These were Linglong Shui's words. Lin Xian staggered and almost fell down. F***ck. Feeling the movement behind them, the two goddesses turned around and frowned. Two beauties, I have lollipops here. Do you want some? Lin Xian said with a smile. It was as if he did not hear their conversation. This Linglong Shui dared to speak ill of him. F***ck. Linglong Shui didn't know why, but she felt that Lin Xian had hurt her. She even felt a sense of shame. It wasn't good to speak ill of someone behind their back, especially for someone of her status. She felt that it would be especially bad if he hurt her behind someone's back, even though she was speaking the truth. Lollipops. Bing Lingyue showed a hint of curiosity. She had never heard of such a thing. When she left Deep Cold Valley and saw the cars and the clothes of the people outside, she was shocked. But thinking about it, so many years have passed. It was normal for there to be so many changes in the outside world. But after hearing Linglong Shui's words, of course she believed it. She was a little wary of Lin Xian. Yes, lollipops. Xiao Linglong has eaten them before. I just asked for them from a friend and brought them to you. No need. Linglong Shui said coldly. You are so rude. If you don't want them, how do you know whether little Bing Bing wants them or not? Am I right, little Bing Bing? Lin Xian grinned. Ding. Feeling Linglong Shui's displeasure. Scumbag value plus 10,000. To be able to make Linglong Shui feel special emotions was actually a success. No thank you. After hearing Linglong Shui's words, Bing Lingyue said softly to Lin Xian. Hey. The first thing I did out of kindness was to ask for lollipops. It's bad enough that you don't appreciate it. You even treat me with such an attitude. It's really hurtful. Lin Xian sighed secretly. Linglong, why don't we? Bing Lingyue asked Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui took the two lollipops from Lin Xian's hand. Thank you. Chapter 265. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh in his heart. Women. Pickled pepper chicken feet. Linglong Shui gave Bing Lingyue a lollipop. Then, the two girls began to peel it with great effort. Why aren't you moving? Linglong Shui came over for a few seconds and looked at Lin Xian as she questioned him. Most importantly, she couldn't open the wrapping paper. Damn it. Most importantly, Lin Xian saw it, and she didn't want him to see it. Come, give it to me. I'll peel it for you. Lin Xian took the lollipop back from her and gave it to Linglong Shui. He then extended his hand to Bing Lingyue. She subconsciously gave the lollipop to Lin Xian. A few seconds later, Lin Xian gave it to her again and shook his head. So stupid. Bing Lingyue. Linglong Shui. Ding. Sense Linglong Shui's embarrassment and anger. Scumbag man points plus 50,000. Ding. Sense Bing Lingyue's embarrassment and anger. Scumbag man points plus 10,000. Lin Xian laughed in his heart. Being able to feel Linglong Shui's embarrassment was enough. As for anger, he was used to it. That's right, Linglong Shui was indeed a little embarrassed. That kind of shyness was more like embarrassment. She was in existence of the virtuality stage, and yet she took so long to peel the wrapping paper. Damn it. Try it. Then Lin Xian looked at the two girls. Linglong Shui turned her head, and Bing Lingyue bowed slightly to Lin Xian. Then she also turned her head away. She was so proud that she had to turn her head away from Lin Xian, even when she was eating something. Linglong Shui tasted it, and her eyebrows relaxed. This time it was another taste. But it was pretty good. It was Bing Lingyue's first time eating it. She stuck out her tongue and licked it. Then, her eyes lit up and she copied Linglong Shui and bit it. Then crunch, Lin Xian. I said this is not the right way to eat a lollipop. This is not the essence of a lollipop. Then what? Bing Lingyue turned her head and asked in surprise. You have to let it melt in your mouth until it's almost gone. That's the right way to eat it. Oh, give me another one, let me try it. Bing's TST, TTT. Lin Xian. Wow. Greedy woman. A cunning look flashed across Bing Lingyue's beautiful eyes. Then Lin Xian gave her another one. Gift. Lin Xian. Then Lin Xian gave her another one. Bing Lingyue was like a little wife, showing a satisfied expression. Then, she passed one of them to Linglong Shui. I don't want it. Linglong Shui turned away. Linglong, take it. I'll give it to you. Don't give it to me. Lin Xian wanted to snatch it and said, this is just a snack. It's expensive. I can't buy much even if I sell all my money. You don't want it. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Linglong Shui took one of the lollipops from Bing Lingyue's hand. Lin Xian laughed in his heart. I'll peel it for you. No need. Linglong Shui had seen how Lin Xian peeled the lollipops, and she learned how to do it. From afar, Ling Ying and Miao Xiao Miao looked at them with jealousy. Bootlicker. Ling Ying said in annoyance. That's right. Miao Xiao Miao also stomped her feet angrily. I won't take your stuff for free. Linglong Shui said. Then, a crystal appeared in her hand, and she threw it to Lin Xian. Lin Xian reached out and caught it. This is a self-made body-defending heavenly crystal. When you release its power, you'll be immune to any attack below the heavenly venerable stage for half a minute. Lin Xian couldn't help but swallow a mouthful of saliva. Damn. Immune to any attack below the heavenly venerable stage for 30 seconds. What the hell is this? And it looked like it was worthless to Linglong Shui. But to Lin Xian, it was a treasure. It's okay. It's barely comparable to the price of 5 lollipops. Lin Xian said calmly. Then, he kept the body-defending heavenly crystal in his spatial ring. Linglong Shui didn't know if Lin Xian was telling the truth. She didn't understand. But she felt that it was not a loss to use this useless little thing to exchange for a few delicious lollipops. If she knew the true value of the lollipops, would she say that it was not a loss? That would be a huge loss. 5 lollipops added up to 5 yuan. If she sold this body-defending heavenly crystal in the human world, there would be a price but no supply. It would be worth at least 10 digits in an auction. This body-defending heavenly crystal wasn't as simple as resisting the power of the heavenly venerable stage. It was even immune to the power of the domain stage. To those rich people, this thing was like a second life. No amount of money was worth it. Lin Xian was overjoyed. Do you have more? Linglong Shui saw that Bing Lingyue seemed to like it, so she turned to look at Lin Xian. That will depend on how many good things you can take out. Linglong Shui threw another 2 pieces of body-defending heavenly crystal to Lin Xian. Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Wait a moment. Lin Xian then ran to Ling Ying. Little baby, quick, give me 10 lollipops. Ling Ying. Hey, you're too much. That's mine. Ling Ying said sourly. He actually wanted her lollipops to give to other women time and time again. F***CK. No, this thing. Lin Xian threw a piece of body-defending heavenly crystal to Ling Ying. Ling Ying caught it. Then he revealed a shocked expression. The power inside is so abundant. This is a treasure that can resist the power of the heavenly venerable stage for 30 seconds. 5 lollipops for 1, it's a great deal. Ling Ying. You tricked them to this extent? Lin Xian blushed. Who asked them to not understand? To them, this is useless, but to us it's a great treasure. Quick, give me 10. Ling Ying then took out 3 packets and said, there are 30 in each packet. Lin Xian. Wow, you're even worse than me. Ling Ying's face turned slightly red. He coughed and said, forget it, let's give them less. I'll feel bad about it. Besides, if we give them too much, they'll know that this thing isn't rare. No wonder these 2 could walk together. They were the same kind of people. I can't care about that. I'm very awesome. But what you said makes sense. Then Lin Xian took 10 lollipops and walked over. Ling Ying looked at the body-defending heavenly crystal in his hand, and was very shocked. The difference between the strong and ordinary martial artists was indeed huge. Things that were worthless in the eyes of the strong were priceless treasures in their eyes. Here. Lin Xian handed Linglong Shui 10 lollipops. Linglong Shui waved her hand, and 10 lollipops appeared in her hand. She held 5 in each hand. Open your hand. Linglong Shui looked at Bing Lingyue and said, then gave her 5 lollipops. Lin Xian. Damn it. This Linglong Shui couldn't have really been turned gay by Bing Lingyue, right? looking at the beautiful scene in front of him. Why was it full of lust? Chapter 266. To Lin Xian, these two girls were not only reserved for him, but they were also the source of his treasures. Treasures that were extremely powerful in his eyes, might be worthless in the eyes of Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue. For example, the royal sky crystal could defend against all attacks below the celestial venerable realm. It was a life-saving treasure for Lin Xian, Ling Ying and the others. However, Linglong Shui was in the celestial venerable realm and above. She could ignore all attacks below the celestial venerable realm, so it was worthless to them. Lin Xian believed that they must have many more treasures like this in their hands. Therefore, Lin Xian had originally planned to increase his favorability with them when he went back tonight. But now, other than that, he still had something important to do. Scamming treasures. Normally, even if Lin Xian had an IQ of 502, he would not be able to scam anything from them. However, one was the Empress from 800 years ago. She knew nothing about modern things. The other was the Void Fox of the Goblin clan. She knew nothing about the human world. It all depended on Lin Xian's performance. Is this really so precious? Bing Lingyue ate another one. Although it tasted good, she felt that it was not as precious as Lin Xian had said. Even if she sold out all her assets, she could not buy much of it. Besides being delicious, it had no other effects. Lin Xian coughed and said, "Of course it's precious." Linglong Shui also looked at Lin Xian with a questioning gaze. After hearing Bing Lingyue's words, she thought about it carefully. That was right. Shouldn't something really precious have many effects? Lin Xian then said, "Then let me ask you, did this exist in your era?" Bing Lingyue shook her head. "No." "Then let me ask you again. Do you think your era was prosperous? Countries were in conflict. Countries were strong. Then why was it that when your era was prosperous, such food could not be produced? Now, half of the human world has been invaded by goblin beasts. More than half of the human world has died. That's because we've only managed to come up with this thing, after many years of research. It might have been a few hundred years, but it's the crystallization of the wisdom of generations." Lin Xian spouted nonsense. Lin Xian's explanation left the two girls in a daze. In any case, they didn't understand at all, so they were skeptical. "Wait, you said that half of the human world has been invaded by goblin beasts?" Bing Lingyue frowned and looked at Lin Xian. Lin Xian nodded his head. "That's right, it's been like this for who knows how many years. Now monsters regularly attack our human society. Look at the one beside you, she's a bad person." Lin Xian pointed at Linglong Shui. "Linglong Shui. Lingyue, are you a goblin beast?" Bing Lingyue looked at Lingyue. Lingyue nodded. Bing Lingyue was surprised, but she was not shocked. She used to think that Lingyue was a human. She did not expect her to be a goblin beast. But it did not matter. She should be neutral, right? Bing Lingyue asked wisely. "Yes, she is neutral. Otherwise we would all be dead." Lin Xian said, "Get in the car. We are going back." Behind them, Miao Xiaomiao looked at the three of them and shouted jealously, "Damn it! Bastard!" He could not move when he saw such a beautiful big sister. She and Ling Ying were also beautiful big sisters. Bastard! He did not even look at them. Ding! Since Miao Xiaomiao's jealousy, scumbag man points plus 10,000. Ding! Since Ling Ying's jealousy, scumbag man points plus 50,000. Ling Ying looked the calmest, but in reality, she was the one who was more jealous. "Coming!" Lin Xian shouted and ran over. The two girls followed behind him. Oh no, oh no. He was so focused on chatting with them that he forgot about Miao Xiaomiao and Ling Ying. Miao Xiaomiao was also a target. If she was unhappy, wouldn't the difficulty be higher? But this was good news. If a girl was jealous, it meant that she really liked you. "Which car are you going to?" Miao Xiaomiao glared at Lin Xian and asked. "I want to be in the same car as you." "Humph. Who wants to be in the same car as you?" Miao Xiaomiao snorted proudly and turned to enter the car in front. But she was happy. "Humph. He knows how to talk." Then Miao Xiaomiao turned around. Damn. Why was this guy chatting with them again? Ding. Sensed Miao Xiaomiao's displeasure. Scumbag man points plus 10,000. Hearing the system notification, Lin Xian shuddered. Forget it. I'll just wait until we get back. Then, Lin Xian got into Miao Xiaomiao's car. Ling Ying, Miao Xiaomiao, and Wang Qianqian were already waiting in the car. Why don't you go to the other car? Seeing Lin Xian get in, Ling Ying blocked the door with his long legs. Hee, because I want to be in the same car as you. Big pig trotter. Miao Xiaomiao snorted in the front passenger seat. He just said that he wanted to be in the same car as her. And now he said that to Ling Ying. A man's mouth was full of lies. Then, Lin Xian hugged Ling Ying's long legs and got into the car, closing the door. What are you doing? Ling Ying was shocked. This bastard. Let go of Sister Ling Ying. Miao Xiaomiao said unhappily. She was jealous. I'm letting go. Lin Xian let go. Miao Xiaomiao did not know about their relationship, and Ling Ying's face was red. Sister Qianqian, let's go. Wang Qianqian smiled helplessly and started the car. Wang Ba followed behind them. After more than an hour, they saw the outline of Tianhua City. Bing Lingyue's beautiful eyes flashed with disbelief. Has the outside world become such a beautiful place? Those tall buildings. Who would have thought that the houses could be built so high? Hey, how do you plan to settle the Empress? Can she settle down in Tianhua City? Ling Ying asked Lin Xian. I think so. If Bing Lingyue didn't have anything holding her back, then Lin Xian wasn't sure. However, Lingyue was the one holding her back. Although Bing Lingyue used to be a queen, according to Lin Xian's understanding, she didn't have much ambition. She didn't want to make a comeback. Therefore, Bing Lingyue would definitely stay in Tianhua City quietly. I really don't know why the powerful empress from 800 years ago was frozen here. Ling Ying did not know the truth and shook his head. He only hoped that this was not a bad thing. Later, just drop us off in the city. What do you want to do? Ling Ying frowned and stared at Lin Xian. Lin Xian scratched his head. Chapter 267. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh out loud. What are you laughing at? I'm laughing because you're jealous. And that girl who's looking at me through the mirror, you're jealous too. Miao Xiaomiao blushed and quickly looked away from the mirror. Ding. Sensing Miao Xiaomiao's embarrassment, scumbag value plus 20,000. I'm not looking at you. Miao Xiaomiao argued. Lin Xian stifled a laugh in his heart. This girl is so adorable. Ling Ying slapped away Lin Xian's naughty hand and asked. What are you trying to do? Nothing. I just want to get some of their treasures, so that I can give them to you. Really? I swear I'm really going to scam them. Lin Xian raised his hand. Then why was Ling Longshui tricked by you? Ling Ying suddenly realized something. Bing Lingyue might have been tricked by Lin Xian, because she had been frozen here for 800 years, and didn't know anything about the outside world. But what about Ling Longshui? She didn't know that Ling Longshui was actually the Void Fox of the Demon Clan. I don't know either. I just feel like she doesn't know anything about these things. That's why I tricked her. Lin Xian played dumb. It was best not to tell them this kind of news. Miao Xiaomiao suddenly thought of something and said, You reminded me. When Sister Linglong asked me for directions, I said that if I didn't know where to go, I could just use the map on my phone. At that time, Sister Linglong looked very confused and didn't know what it was. Could it be the same situation as the Empress? Otherwise, it's impossible that she doesn't know the phone and the map. Ling Ying said in surprise. Miao Xiaomiao shook her head. The two of them didn't think of the demon beasts, because they thought it was impossible. How could demon beasts appear in human territory? The barrier wasn't broken yet. Don't think about it, I'll try tonight. Lin Xian grinned. Then be careful. Don't worry. Lin Xian then tossed a piece of imperial celestial crystal to Miao Xiaomiao. Xiaomiao, you're always out on missions. This is safer for you. This is the treasure I got from them. The body-defending heavenly crystal. It can block any attack below the heavenly venerable realm for 30 seconds. Miao Xiaomiao. It can't be. Miao Xiaomiao was shocked. There was such a heaven-defying treasure? No matter how strong a spirit weapon was, it wouldn't be able to do that. Anyways, just carry it with you. Oh right, little Ying. Can I trouble you to bring this piece to little fairy? Lin Xian handed another piece to Ling Ying. Doesn't that mean you don't have any? Ling Ying asked worriedly. Don't forget what I'm going to do tonight. Lin Xian grinned. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Ying was slightly taken aback, and then couldn't help but laugh out loud. You don't make me suffer too much. Ha ha ha, I won't. Otherwise I'll be embarrassed. Alright, give me the lollipops. Then Ling Ying gave Lin Xian 3 bags of lollipops. The car drove into the city. Behind them, Bing Lingyue was shocked to see the heavy traffic in various buildings that were so tall that she couldn't believe it. Moreover, there were so many people on the streets, and it was so lively. The various shopping malls and the lights of the shops made her feel that this era was too magical. The car that Lin Xian was in came to a stop. Lin Xian got out of the car, and Wang Ba naturally came to a stop as well. This place was not far from Tianhua Academy. In other words, it was not far from Ling Ying's house. This was also one of the busiest places. Lin Xian planned to bring them to see it. Come out. Lin Xian knocked on the car window. Then, Ling Longshui imitated the others and opened the door. Bing Lingyue followed closely behind. The moment Bing Lingyue came out, she sniffed the air. The air was filled with the fragrance of various food. It was a smell that she had never smelled before. For now, Ling Longshui planned to stay in the human world with Bing Lingyue. She knew that Bing Lingyue was a demon, but she felt that it would not be suitable for Bing Lingyue. Moreover, Ling Longshui also wanted to experience human society. What was wrong with staying here? There's no need for you to bring us along. I'm enough. Ling Longshui looked at the heavy traffic and said to Lin Xian calmly. Lin Xian, wow, this woman. He really wanted to hit her. Do you believe that without me, the 2 of you will be sleeping there tonight? Lin Xian pointed to a bench in the park and said with a smile. Goodbye, sister. Miao shouted. Then 2 cars drove past them. Although Ling Ying was unhappy that Lin Xian was staying with 2 beautiful girls like them, she thought that Lin Xian would not be able to seduce them no matter how outstanding he was. Therefore she was relieved. Then, she secretly gave Lin Xian a thumbs up and encouraged him to get more good things tonight. Lin Xian could not help but laugh. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Ling Longshui hesitated for a moment. Indeed, everything here was unfamiliar to her. She did not even know what was being sold next to them. Even if she wanted to buy food, she did not know how to use it. She knew that she needed to spend money, but she did not have it. If it was not for Lin Xian, she might not be able to move even an inch. Okay, but if you dare to plot anything, I will take your life. Okay, don't threaten me. You know that you can't threaten me. Although the phone was broken, Lin Xian could easily buy a new one. Ling Longshui secretly gritted her teeth. What do you want to do now? Lin Xian asked them. They did not know what they wanted to do. Since they did not know, they had to listen to Lin Xian. Then I will lead you too. First, take off your veils. Why? Bing Lingyue asked. Look around. There are so many people and so many girls. Only one of you is wearing a veil. The 2 girls glanced around. Many people around them were secretly looking at them. Some were even secretly taking pictures. Although their faces could not be seen clearly, their temperament, figure, and ancient clothes were too eye-catching in this era. Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue took off their veils. Some people's eyes widened when they saw them take off their veils. Oh my God! 2 fairies who had fallen from heaven came to Tianhua City. But F***ck. What is wrong with the young man beside them? Looking at the 2 beautiful faces, Lin Xian felt a kind of happiness. Then he said, Next, change your clothes. Huh? Look at what you are wearing. Although it is beautiful and luxurious, look at what others are wearing. Look at what I am wearing. In this era, your clothes are not out of date, but it is too eye-catching. Lin Xian was really looking forward to seeing how the 2 girls looked in modern clothes. What do you mean? Bing Lingyue asked in surprise. It means outdated. Chapter 268. In this era, many girls deliberately wore ancient clothes just to look good, but there were still very few who walked on the streets like this. Moreover, Lin Xian really wanted to see how they looked in modern clothes. Hee. Next, it was time for Lin Xian to do whatever he wanted. Can't we not change? Exquisite Shue's brows furrowed slightly. She looked so beautiful. Lin Xian rubbed his chin and stared at her, then said, "If we change, maybe 90 out of 100 people will pay attention to you. If we don't change, all of the 100 people will pay attention to you. Let's change. Since we're in this era, we have to adapt to this era. Otherwise, we might be treated as outsiders." Bing Lingyue said to Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui thought about it carefully. That was true, because the people around them were dressed differently from them. Linglong Shui's dress was still okay. It was a white dress with a slightly ancient style. But Bing Lingyue's dress, damn it. She definitely had to change. If she wore it properly, she would look like an empress. That kind of aura was unparalleled. The people around them saw their clothes and aura. Even if they wanted to, they wouldn't have the guts to come over. It was as if they were really facing an empress. Ordinary people couldn't even see an empress when they looked up, let alone strike up a conversation. Linglong Shui didn't forget that she wanted to kill Lin Xian, but she didn't understand why she could talk to, chat, and even be together with someone she hated so much. She didn't even know. Then she nodded slightly. Lin Xian reached out his hand to her. 2 sets of clothes that match your aura, shoes and jewelry. The total price might be a few 100,000. Do as you see fit. Linglong Shui didn't quite understand what Lin Xian meant by a few 100,000. Then, she took out 2 pieces of imperial sky crystal and threw it over. Lin Xian caught it in his hand. Is it enough? Lin Xian nodded. It's enough. It wasn't just enough. If he was greedy, he could keep one for himself and auction off the other. Actually, it didn't matter. Lin Xian couldn't possibly lack money. If he really didn't have money, he could casually exchange the items in his scumbag system and sell them for a lot of money. Therefore, he would not sell it. This kind of thing could save one's life. So what was more important than one's own life? Let's go. I'll bring you to the clothing store next door. Then, Lin Xian brought the 2 girls to the Sunan Square. This was the largest plaza in the vicinity, and it was nighttime. This was the time when the flow of people was the highest. Lin Xian brought 2 breathtakingly beautiful women with him as he weaved through the crowd, attracting unimaginable attention. Bing Lingyue and Linglong Shui didn't like this kind of place. It was too crowded and there were too many people. The most important thing was that their temperament, clothes, and beauty attracted too much attention. They felt disgusted when some people looked at them. They even subconsciously wanted to kill them. Let's get out of here. Linglong Shui frowned and said to Lin Xian. Lin Xian pointed in front and said, "It's just in front. There aren't many people inside. You'll feel better after you change your clothes." Lin Xian moved closer to Linglong Shui and said with a smile, "You have to get used to the feeling of being stared at. You should know how beautiful you are. Every girl likes to be noticed by so many people. The more attention she gets, the more beautiful she is." Hypocrite. This isn't hypocrisy, it's the truth. Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue didn't feel anything. Maybe it was because their identity, status, and other aspects were different from ordinary girls. Which ordinary girl didn't like to be surrounded by thousands of people? But what about them? They liked silence more. What they couldn't get was always a commotion. Because they never lacked attention, they didn't care. However, the girls who couldn't get the attention cared. This was the difference. It was the same principle as the rich and the poor. In the eyes of the rich, they didn't care much about money. But the poor worked hard every day for money. Anyway, listen to me here. Don't you want to experience the life of a human? Then you have to listen to me. Everything I'm doing is to let you slowly experience and adapt to the life of a human. Little Bing Lingyue, you don't know anything about the present. You have to adapt as well. When you become my wife in the future, you can't be ignorant. What did you say? Linglong Shui's murderous aura surged, making the passers-by shiver subconsciously. It was clearly autumn, not yet late autumn. Why was she suddenly so cold that she was shivering? Ha ha ha, I'm kidding. This is also the way we humans talk. You have to learn to get used to it. Lin Xian laughed, and then led them into a Chanel store in front of them. Lin Xian wasn't being materialistic, but he really felt that way. Only then would he be able to accentuate their beauty. Lin Xian also wanted to see how beautiful they looked. Welcome. A few beautiful shop assistants saw people coming in, and quickly went over. Then, they saw two women in ancient clothes, who were so beautiful that they felt it was unbelievable. One was an empress, and the other looked like an empress. Lin Xian felt that spending a few $100,000 to buy two sets of clothes for them was not a loss. A few $100,000 for two imperial sky crystals, it was a huge profit. Moreover, now that the favorability was good, it would be very beneficial to him in the future. Let's just look around, Lin Xian said to the few beautiful shop assistants. Okay. They agreed stiffly. They also felt pressured to follow these two women around. It had to be said that girls, no matter what kind of girl they were, loved to look beautiful and liked to shop. When the two girls walked in and saw all kinds of clothes, their beautiful eyes lit up. Before Lin Xian said anything, the two of them were looking at all kinds of clothes while shopping. It was the kind that couldn't help themselves. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh at the side. At the very least, he was someone who had a lot of girls. Although these two were not the same, they were both women after all. Lin Xian could still grasp a woman's hobbies more accurately. Outside, many people rushed in, because they all saw the two fairies walking in. Anyone with a bit of wealth came in. Lin Xian didn't have to worry about anything. No one could take advantage of them. Kid, a middle-aged man wearing glasses, a pot-bellied man in a suit came in front of Lin Xian. He was actually hugging a flirtatious woman. What's the matter? Do you know those two women just now? I know them. They are my cousins. Introduce them to me and I'll give you 500,000. Lin Xian. Hubby. The woman acted coquettishly in his arms. Get lost. The man directly pushed her away. Compared to the two women just now, he simply didn't have any desire when he looked at the woman in his arms, who he used to think was a beauty. Give me the money first, I'll introduce you. Lin Xian said. Good job. It was only 500,000. To him, it might be the money to treat a meal, but if he could get such a top-grade beauty, his life would be worth it. Chapter 269. Then, the man sent 500,000 to Lin Xian. Lin Xian had just bought his phone on the way. After receiving the money, he smirked. Go and flirt with them. You're not going to introduce them to me? Or you're not going to tell me who they are? The pot-bellied man frowned and asked. 500,000 is to give you the right to flirt with them. Are you messing with me? The man was furious. No. I just know that if you don't come over and ask, you won't dare to flirt with them, right? The man hesitated. That's right. The two women's auras were too scary. People like him only dared to look at them from afar. He had money, so why was it like this? Because the two women's auras were too oppressive. Even if his status was not low, even if he had money, he still did not dare to go over. It was as if he was not worthy. Then let me tell you now. They're not as scary as you think. Go ahead and flirt with them. As for how far you can go, that's up to you. Do you think it's a loss to spend 500,000 to buy the courage to flirt with them? Not at all. Then he walked straight over. Lin Xian smiled. What an idiot. He actually believed a few words from him. Then Lin Xian looked at them from afar. Getting 500,000 just like that was equivalent to not having to spend money to buy clothes for them. Beauties, can we get to know each other? I'm the chairman of Pengfa Corporation, Lu Pengfa. Lu Pengfa smiled at the two women like a gentleman. When they looked at him at such a close distance, he felt like he was going to suffocate. He even felt that the words of the young man just now were very useful. Just that one sentence filled him with courage. The two women looked at each other, and then turned to look at other clothes, leaving Lu Pengfa with a frozen face. Hi, I'm Lu Pengfa. Can we get to know each other? I'll give you 3 breaths of time to scram or die. Linglong Shue's cold voice sounded. Plop. Lu Pengfa did not know why, but he fell to the ground with a face full of fear. At that moment, he felt as if the Grim Reaper's scythe was already on his neck. When the crowd saw this scene, they couldn't help but snicker. Lu Pengfa's face turned ashen as he stood up. Fine, I gave you face, but you don't want it. Don't leave if you have the guts. Wasn't he just a little stronger? How dare he be so rude to him? Who do you think you are? Wasn't she just a little prettier? He didn't believe that a woman who could come to Tianhua City had any status. Then, Lu Pingfa walked over to Lin Xian with a dark expression. Give me the money. Big brother, what do you mean by this? Didn't you just say that you didn't suffer any losses? Since he couldn't get her, he had to ask for the money back? Don't you have any shame? Lin Xian sneered. So it's a scam. Lu Pingfa glared at Lin Xian. I swindle money? I'm sorry. Did I take the initiative to ask you to flirt with her? Fine, just you wait. Don't leave if you have the guts. Not many people in Tianhua City dare to provoke me, Lu Pingfa. These two women, I'll kidnap them even if I have to. Then Lu Pingfa walked out angrily. Many people were secretly taking pictures of the two women. Lin Xian didn't think much of it. They were beautiful women after all. It was normal. Moreover, they had to get used to it. Are you done looking? Lin Xian went over and asked. Yes, can I try it on? Bing Lingyue looked at Lin Xian expectantly. Of course. Then a few shop assistants came over. Such beautiful and elegant beauties. They would definitely be able to afford these expensive clothes. If these two bought a set, the shop assistants would get a lot of commission. They were considered big customers. If you like it, just tell them. They'll take your measurements and bring you to the fitting room. Lin Xian said to the two women. This one, this one, this one. And this one. The two goddesses Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue pointed wildly. Lin Xian. F***ck. They still said they didn't want it. Why did they look like they were on steroids now? They couldn't even walk after seeing beautiful clothes. Maybe this was what women were like. There wasn't a single woman who didn't like beautiful clothes. Even if they were beautiful enough, they still liked it and wouldn't think it was too much. This was a common problem for women. If it wasn't troublesome to change clothes, they would want to change every hour. After about 10 minutes, the two women walked out. They probably had never worn some of the clothes before and didn't know how to put them on. The two of them were studying inside. PFFF. When they walked out, Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Damn, you have bad taste. Lin Xian looked at their clothes and wanted to cry. It wasn't that they didn't have good taste, but that they didn't know how to match. Have you seen a green sweater on the inside and a green jacket on the outside? But it was beautiful. After all, their foundation was right there. What are you laughing at? Linglong Shui frowned and stared at Lin Xian. Come. I'll help each of you choose a set. No need. I'll help you choose. It's definitely beautiful, with the eyes of a man. Lin Xian smiled and pointed at a few pieces, saying, Please find a few numbers and give these to her. And these to her. Then, the two girls walked into the fitting room with the clothes that Lin Xian had found for them with a dubious look on their faces. Lin Xian didn't find long dresses for them, because that would be too ethereal. They already looked ethereal. If they wore modern clothes and looked ethereal, they wouldn't be able to stand it. Moreover, Lin Xian had seen them in long dresses before, so he wanted to see them in jackets and tights. They would definitely look stunning. More and more people gathered around. It was like a flower festival. They were all waiting for the women to appear. Hey, what are you doing? Do you really think I can't see? Lin Xian said to the group of people. Although it didn't matter, Lin Xian was jealous when he saw so many people waiting for them to come out. Brother, is it okay if we look at the beauties? A man said. It's okay if you look at the beauties. Please put away your phones. Also, the one hugging your girlfriend, either break up or leave with your girlfriend. Thank you. Lin Xian pointed at a couple. Lingling, let's break up. Lin Xian. F***ck. What the F***ck? Slap. The crisp sound of a slap was heard. The woman spat out a mouthful of phlegm and cursed. Scumbag. Then she walked away angrily. Brother, can I stay and watch now? The man covered the palm print and asked Lin Xian. Why yes. It was a werewolf. Lin Xian couldn't control whether they looked at the two women or not. It was like walking on the street. They attracted a lot of attention, so Lin Xian couldn't let them not look. But this was enough to show how beautiful the two women were. Chapter 270. About 10 minutes later, the two girls walked out of the fitting room one after the other. Wow! It had to be said that Lin Xian's taste in girls was pretty good. After all, There were so many beautiful girls around him. Lin Xian was used to looking at them. He also knew their usual style of dress, and which style suited which girls. Obviously, although Lin Xian didn't give them dresses, they suited them very well. Linglong Shui was wearing a pure white coat, and inside, she was wearing a slightly blue floral dress. This kind of feeling not only did not make her lose her cold immortal aura, it actually added a little freshness to her. Bing Lingyue wore a light blue chiffon dress with a white veil draped over her shoulders. She gave people the feeling of a floating celestial. Her long black hair draped over her shoulders, making her look gentle and beautiful. She didn't put on any makeup, and her loose sweater was so big that it covered her perky buttocks. However, this was her style. Many girls would have a special feeling when they wore loose clothes like that. She wore a dress, a knee-length floral dress that gave people a feeling of elegance. She was elegant. She was an empress. When she released her aura, it gave people a sense of oppression. However, under normal circumstances, she had the kind of elegance that Linya had. Speaking of which, they were really similar. Linya would be especially gentle and elegant in front of him, and be cold in front of others. Bing Lingyue was especially elegant and gentle in front of Linglong Shui. If Linglong Shui wasn't around, or if she was facing other people, she would really release the aura of an empress. Beautiful, Lin Xian praised from the bottom of his heart. This kind of beauty would be beautiful even if she wore clothes that cost less than 10 yuan. However, it was indeed more beautiful in this way. Clothes made the man, and horses made the saddle. Clothes were indeed quite important. Moreover, in Lin Xian's impression, they were all wearing elegant long dresses. This was the first time he saw them wearing modern clothes. It was really amazing. Are you done? Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian and said. Actually, when she saw herself in the mirror, she was also stunned. He never thought that human clothing could have such a beautiful effect. Lin Xian nodded. Alright, just these 2 sets. Beautiful. Go and pick a simple necklace or bracelet next to it. You can get bonus points. Remember over there. Lin Xian pointed in a direction. That was because the most expensive item over there was 10,000 yuan. On the other side of the counter, there were hundreds of thousands of yuan, and even hundreds of thousands of yuan. Lin Xian could not afford it. Both of them were wearing white shoes and looked especially beautiful. Then Lin Xian took the card and went to pay. The 2 sets, including the simple accessories, cost 450,000 yuan. It was very expensive, but Lin Xian didn't feel the pinch at all. After deducting the 450,000 yuan, he still earned 50,000 yuan. Let's go. Inexplicably, Lin Xian felt that he had become the boyfriend of the 2 of them, bringing them out to shop, paying for them, helping them pick out clothes. This feeling was really good. It was the same feeling as when Ling Ying came out to shop. It was a pity that he wasn't one yet. As for their clothes, it was likely that they had already stored them in their respective spatial spirit tools. Experts of this level naturally had their own spatial spirit tools. The 3 of them had just walked to the door, and 3 ferocious-looking big men rushed in. The one following behind them was naturally Lu Pingfa from just now. He swore that he couldn't let this kind of woman go. Otherwise, he would regret it for the rest of his life. Even if he had to use force, he had to get her. To be able to get this kind of woman, as a man, he would have no regrets. Leaving? Wasn't it fun to cheat me of my money just now? Lu Pingfa sneered and looked at them. Lin Xian released his eye of cave spirit to take a look. He couldn't detect these 3 people. I say, you're breaking the law. The trial union will arrest you. Lin Xian looked at Lu Pingfa without panicking at all. Ha ha ha. Lu Pingfa laughed loudly, then pointed at Lin Xian and said angrily, The trial union? Let me tell you, I have money. The trial union has people. Even if I kill all of you now, it's fine. Oh, what big words. Humph. I don't want to lower myself to your level. His goal was the 2 women. Of course, it wasn't as simple as he said to kill in public, and he didn't dare to. But snatching people was not a problem. He knew that these 2 women might be a little powerful. But, let me tell you, the 3 I found are all experts in the law realm. Ha ha ha. Lu Pingfa laughed loudly. Hearing his words, The surrounding people revealed horrified expressions. 3 law realm experts. Oh my god. At the same time, they also felt pity for Linglong Shui and the others. They didn't expect that such women still couldn't escape the clutches of rich and powerful people. What a pity. But they didn't dare to stand up. Law realm, Lin Xian sneered. When the crowd saw the disdainful smile on Lin Xian's face, they were all shocked. He couldn't be a powerful expert, right? Otherwise, why would he smile like that after knowing that these 3 were all law realm experts? Little sister, I can't beat them. You two go. Lin Xian then snuck behind the 2 girls and said with great confidence. Everyone. F***ck. Ding. Hiding behind a little sister is the behavior of a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 200,000. Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue didn't think much of it. I don't want to fight. You have 3 breaths of time to scram. Bing Lingyue's originally elegant eyes emitted a strong chill. Lin Xian was behind her, fiddling with a hairband that he had just bought. Me. When the crowd heard Bing Lingyue's boast, they were all shocked. Who could call herself me? Who was she? Could she be faking it? They didn't believe that such a young and beautiful woman could be so powerful. Go. Don't hurt the women. As for the men, throw them out. Lu Pingfa said with a sneer. He had indeed felt a very terrifying aura just now. And he had even collapsed to the ground. That was because he was only in the spirit condensation realm. And he was looking for someone in the law realm. How could he not be compared to them? Director Lu, just remember your promise to us. Then, the 3 of them sneered and walked toward Bing Lingyue. You're courting death. Bing Lingyue's aura, which made people want to submit to her, was slightly violent. The 3 law realm experts who were walking over were instantly shocked. What kind of power was this? PFFF. In the next instant, the 3 of them spat out blood without warning and fell to the ground. F***ck. Just her aura alone crippled them. How fierce. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. This scene caused everyone to be confused. This was too strong. Then, Bing Lingyue waved her hand, and the 3 of them were directly frozen into ice sculptures. When the ice sculptures shattered, the 3 law realm experts instantly turned into nothingness. Chapter 271. Everyone's eyes widened. A law realm expert was turned into an ice sculpture by this woman. He didn't even know how he died. He turned into nothingness. What kind of power did she have to be able to do that? The people who might have coveted her didn't even dare to move. Damn. She was a real expert. She killed 3 law realm experts in seconds. What kind of realm was that? Domain realm? Many of them had never seen a domain realm expert in their lives. But the most ridiculous thing was that killing a martial artist in public in the city would result in a trial by the enforcement union. Lin Xian rubbed his temples. He also knew that he would be targeted by the enforcement union. But it shouldn't be a problem. She didn't kill them on purpose. But this woman was too ruthless. After all, she was the empress. Who dared to say a word to her? Let alone take liberties with her. She even wanted to take them away. Killing him was simply too logical. Plop. Seeing this scene, Lu Pingfa seemed to have lost all his strength and fell to the ground again. Not only was she an expert, she was so strong. Damn it. Bing Lingyue's beautiful eyes coldly glanced at Lu Pingfa. Don't kill me. You will be wanted by the enforcement union. Lu Pingfa hurriedly shouted. Bing Lingyue gathered her power and subconsciously glanced at Lin Xian. She didn't understand the situation in this era. Anyway, in her era, it was very normal to kill someone you didn't like. There wouldn't be any consequences. Status and strength were everything. Lin Xian nodded. Do as you wish. After saying that, Bing Lingyue flicked her slender fingers. Lu Pingfa turned into an ice sculpture and disappeared. The surrounding people quickly ran out. The few beautiful shop assistants hid at the side and didn't dare to move. Let's go. Then, Lin Xian brought the 2 girls who had changed into beautiful modern clothes and left the shopping mall in a grand manner. What is the enforcement union? Bing Lingyue asked Lin Xian curiously. It's an organization of humans. It protects humans and judges martial artists who have committed crimes. It's similar to the guards in your era. I see. So this Supreme One is now a criminal? Bing Lingyue nodded slightly. You could say that, but I think it should be fine. Lin Xian rubbed his temples. With such a powerful expert who had a reason to kill, the enforcement union would probably consider it. Bing Lingyue calmly took out a lollipop and ate it. Ling Longshui did not panic at all. What's the big deal about killing 2 people? Lin Xian felt bitter in his heart. These 2 women were too strong. Who knows what would happen after this? She could only hope that they would know their limits. I believe they know what they're doing. Hungry? Lin Xian asked. Bing Lingyue and Ling Longshui looked at the same place at the same time. They were selling ice cream. Although the weather wasn't that hot anymore, as long as it wasn't winter, these delicacies were still available. Wait a moment. Then, Lin Xian ran over and handed them 2 ice creams. What is this? When the 2 girls received the ice cream, they were both astonished. Ice. Bing Lingyue could feel the coldness. Try it and you'll know, Lin Xian said with a smile. Then the 2 girls subconsciously licked the ice cream. Their eyes lit up. TSK. Too damn tempting. When did this little tongue? How is it? It's a very strange taste, but it's very special and delicious, Bing Lingyue replied. Ha ha ha. Let's go. I'll bring you to a room. I'll personally cook for you. I'll let you taste the delicacies of humans. They did not understand the meaning of a room, but Lin Xian brought them to buy clothes and eat delicious food. In short, their grudge against Lin Xian had lessened by a lot. When they arrived at the front desk of a hotel-style apartment, Lin Xian took out his ID card. A room, please. The receptionist looked at the 2 girls with a surprised expression. Oh my God. Such beautiful girls, and there are 2 of them. This man wants to get a room with 2 of such high-quality girls. The 2 girls were eating ice cream at the back, and did not know anything. So they followed Lin Xian. Please let them show their ID cards. Lin Xian touched the tip of his nose and said with a smile. Pretty girls, we just came back from the demon beast territory. They lost their ID cards. Then their ID numbers and names. Lin Xian. What the F***CK? Miss, please make an exception. They don't even have ID numbers? The girl showed a surprised expression. Lin Xian thought for a while. If there was no other way, he could only bring them home. Back to his previous home. There was no one living there now. Just nice. That's not necessary, thank you. Then, Lin Xian brought them to the door. Didn't you say you could bring us to a place to stay? Ling Longshui frowned and asked. Yes, but the hotel needs your ID. You don't have it. But I still have a way. Just follow me. At this time, a few figures landed in front of them. You are suspected of murder. Please don't resist. Please come with us. After that, the few people surrounded them. Whoosh! Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue's delicate bodies were about to release their auras. It was completely subconscious. Lin Xian quickly grabbed their hands and said softly, It's okay. Leave it to me. Ding deliberately taking advantage of girls is classified as a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 300,000. Lin Xian was indignant. He had held their hands to calm them down when they were about to explode. Was this intentional? Fine. It seemed that Lin Xian wanted to take the opportunity to pinch their little hands. They were so F***king soft. The 2 girls were slightly stunned and subconsciously broke free from Lin Xian's hands. Damn it. It was definitely intentional. He was indeed a shameless pervert. Ling Longshui gritted her teeth. Lin Xian then smiled and walked in front of Zhang Nan. President Zhang. It's me. Zhang Nan finally saw Lin Xian clearly. Lin Xian? Why are you here? Zhang Nan frowned. Lin Xian then pulled Zhang Nan to the side and whispered. President Zhang, they are my friends. Lin Xian, even if they are your friends, they have to be tried for killing 4 people in Tianhua City. President Zhang, it's like this. Those people wanted to do something bad to them. They were just defending themselves. This? Zhang Nan hesitated. If this was the case, they might not be punished for killing people. But the procedure still needs to be followed. One of them is at the virtualization stage, and the other is about to step into the virtualization stage. Lin Xian then whispered to her. Zhang Nan, Chapter 272. Zhang Nan had received the news that 3 Law Realm cultivators had been killed in an instant, so she guessed that it was the Domain Realm. If a Domain Realm cultivator made a move, they would be judged. But if it was the Virtual Realm, it can't be, right? Zhang Nan felt that it was too unbelievable. Recently, there had been more Law Realm cultivators because of the crisis in Tianhua City. That was why so many Law Realm cultivators had come. She had never seen a Virtual Realm cultivator in her life. She had only heard that the higher-ups of the Trial Union in Tiandu seemed to have the existence of this realm, but it was only hearsay. She knew that if this Virtual Realm cultivator was angry, no one in Tianhua City could stop him. Why would I lie to you? Although they are my women, they are too strong, too noble and arrogant. I can't control them for a while. So I think that President Zhang, since they attacked out of self-defense, there's no need to go through the procedures, right? Lin Xian said. Ding. Slandering another big sister in front of others, causing a negative impact on her. It is the behavior of a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 50,000. Lin Xian. All right. He admitted it. They were clearly not his girlfriends, but saying that they were his girlfriends was indeed bad behavior. Your girlfriends? Zhang Nan was stunned for a moment. Impossible. A girlfriend of a Virtual Realm cultivator. Bullshit. All right, then I'll go and talk to them. I hope what you said is true. If you cover it up, you're also guilty. Zhang Nan looked at Lin Xian and said. Then she glanced at them. This kind of temperament indeed had the demeanor of a powerhouse. Retreat. Then, Zhang Nan left with her people. I said, don't be too nervous. Lin Xian then turned to look at them. These 2 girls were too sensitive. They would attack anyone who was similar to an enemy. Then Lin Xian said, Here, as long as you don't commit any crimes, nothing will happen. You've indeed violated the rules by killing people, but it shouldn't be a big deal. Thank you. Linglong Shui said coldly. Hey, shouldn't you say thank you with gratitude? Why are you still so cold? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Linglong Shui then turned around and looked at the traffic around her. All right, come home with me. After that, Lin Xian brought them back to his house. Of course, he bought a lot of groceries on the way. After turning on the lights, the 2 girls curiously sized up the human's room. Sit anywhere you like, Lin Xian said. Then he threw 2 bottles of water to them and said, I'll go cook and let you guys taste the delicacies. After saying that, Lin Xian brought the ingredients to the kitchen. The 2 girls were dumbfounded as they looked at the various electrical appliances. What kind of demons and ghosts are these? Lin Xian sat in the kitchen, preparing the dishes as he thought to himself. This wasn't enough to cheat their treasures. How much he could scam from this meal would depend on Lin Xian's capabilities. Bing Lingyue walked in with the TV remote control and asked, What kind of spiritual weapon is this? Lin Xian. Spiritual weapon. He almost laughed out loud. Come, I'll help you. Then Lin Xian walked out and turned on the TV for her. The 2 girls looked at the TV in surprise. Linglong Shui might know a little about it, but she had never seen it before. Lin Xian played a school idol drama for them. Girls usually like to watch this kind of drama, right? More than an hour later, Lin Xian walked out of the kitchen, carrying a platter of delicious dishes and placing them on the table. He even washed the dishes for them. Damn, how did he become a nanny? But when he thought about how he could cheat them of their treasures, he felt relieved. Come and eat, Lin Xian shouted. The 2 girls sat on the sofa and focused on the TV. They turned a deaf ear to him. Lin Xian. Hey, it's time to eat, Lin Xian shouted again, but there was still no response. Then, Lin Xian walked over helplessly and turned off the TV. Give it to me. Linglong Shui looked at Lin Xian, and her delicate body emitted a cold aura. Lin Xian. F***CK. Is this girl a demon? Hey, what are you doing? Linglong Shui seemed to feel that she had lost her composure. Then, she quickly coughed and said, And nothing. This spiritual weapon, called a TV, was really interesting. It could actually watch videos, and it was very good. If she had this, she wouldn't be bored in the future. Lin Xian seemed to have noticed that they especially liked watching TV. He smiled and said, Do you want to watch it? Linglong Shui nodded slightly. Then, She stretched out her hand, and all the dishes on the kitchen table appeared on the coffee table in front of them. Lin Xian. Lin Xian then sat between the two girls. They subconsciously moved to the sides. Then Lin Xian held the remote control and smiled. But this TV needs electricity. Electricity? Is it thunder? I can give it to you. After saying that, Bing Lingyue stretched out her hand, and a terrifying thunder condensed in her palm. Lin Xian. F***ck. No. This is electricity, thunder is thunder. The electricity comes from the power company. If you want to get electricity from the power company, you need money. Every second you watch it costs money. So do you have money? Give it to us. Bing Lingyue said. I'm poor, and I don't have much money. But some things can be exchanged for money, Sai. Then a small white pearl was thrown over. Lin Xian stretched out his hand and caught it. Lin Xian thought it was a pearl, but he was wrong. It was a pill. To be precise, it was a pill. This is? Lin Xian asked curiously. Blood spirit pill, made from various spiritual herbs. After taking it, it can quickly recover from injuries. Lin Xian. According to the imperial physician Saint technique, the highest grade of blood spirit pill was level 10. Generally speaking, level 3 pills were already very rare. Even level 5 pills would form pill lightning when they were refined. One had to withstand the pill lightning in order to successfully refine the pill. This blood spirit pill was a level 6 pill. According to the imperial physician Saint technique, the blood spirit pill could even save a dying person. It was that powerful. Lin Xian couldn't refine it. Firstly, he didn't have the herbs. It was too rare. Secondly, he didn't have a good cauldron. Thirdly, he wasn't strong enough. Moreover, in human society, refining pills didn't exist. No, at least it didn't exist now. However, Lin Xian wasn't sure if there was such a technique many years ago. After all, many years ago, they didn't use the God's child system to cultivate. Now healing relied on genetic medicine and elemental power. There was no such thing as a pill. However, he knew that Lin Xian had the imperial physician Saint technique. Moreover, on Earth, immortal cultivators relied on medicinal pills and their own energy to heal themselves. Medicinal pills were very important. Lin Xian put away the precious blood spirit pill. Then he turned on the TV with the remote control. There was a TV drama playing on it. The two girls' attention was immediately attracted. Little Bing Bing, in your era, was refining pills used for cultivation? Lin Xian looked at Bing Lingyue and asked curiously. Chapter 273. Bing Lingyue looked at the TV and nodded. Yes, it's called an alchemist. But it's very demanding. You have to have fire attributes and a strong soul to become an alchemist. But in this era, I'm afraid there aren't any alchemists. Because all of you practice martial arts, you rely on the God's child system. Even if there are alchemists, it would be those people from 100 years ago. Lin Xian nodded. No wonder he had never heard of it. There were very few people who survived 100 years ago. They were not people they could come into contact with. And alchemists were even rarer and more demanding. Also, the most precious thing is the prescription. It's the prescription of a certain kind of elixir. Now there are very few people who know the prescription of elixirs. So it's normal that there aren't any alchemists. You don't need one either. Lin Xian shook his head helplessly. Then he passed the chopsticks to them. Let's eat. Lin Xian was satisfied with the expensive electricity bill in exchange for a 6th level elixir that could save lives. The royal sky crystal could prevent death and injury. Once injured, the spiritual blood elixir could save lives. The two girls then focused on the food in front of them. How should they put it? They had eaten all kinds of food before. But they definitely didn't have these seasonings. They might have eaten all natural food. But this was definitely better. Taking the chopsticks, Bing Lingyue poked a piece of red braised meat and asked, "What kind of meat is this?" Red braised meat. The color was the first thing that attracted her. But the taste she wasn't sure. Then, Bing Lingyue tentatively put a small piece into her mouth. Linglong Shui looked at Bing Lingyue. If she was poisoned, she could still protect herself and Bing Lingyue if she didn't eat it. Bing Lingyue put the piece into her red lips and took 2 small bites. Then she saw her beautiful eyes shining. How is it? This taste is 100 times better than what my head chef made back then. Maybe it was an exaggeration, but it showed that Bing Lingyue really liked the taste. At that time, there weren't these seasonings and patterns. It was normal that she liked it. Ha ha. Lin Xian couldn't help but laugh. Ling Long, have a taste. Bing Lingyue picked up a piece and put it into Ling Longshue's mouth. Ling Longshue tasted it for a while. This taste was something she had never tasted before. Delicious, right? Bing Lingyue asked with a smile. Ling Longshue nodded. Although she didn't want to praise Lin Xian, she had to admit that this was a delicacy she had never tasted before. There are still a few more dishes. Try them one by one. Originally, they really didn't have much interest in food. After all, one of them was an empress. What kind of food had she not eaten before? She was only curious about the snacks that she had never seen before. Ling Longshue was probably the same. She felt that it was just food. Even if it was delicious, how delicious could it be? But since the first mouthful, they had fallen. Half an hour later, Lin Xian opened his mouth. Your sister. He hadn't eaten much yet. How could the dishes on the table be empty? Just a moment ago, she was still arrogant and uninterested. Drink some wine. Lin Xian smiled and brought over a bottle of red wine. I don't drink wine. Ling Longshue said softly. Bing Lingyue didn't drink much either because they didn't like it. This is not the kind of wine you drink. This is specially brewed by us. It's not white wine. Lin Xian poured 2 glasses for them. Ling Longshue glanced at it. It was actually red. It was as red as blood. Then, the 2 girls took a sip tentatively. At first, they weren't too interested. But after slowly thinking about it, they felt that it was quite good. Can I hire you to be my imperial chef? Bing Lingyue looked at Lin Xian expectantly. Ling Longshue was eavesdropping at the side. Really, after eating Lin Xian's cooking, she didn't even like other food. She felt that everything she ate before was a waste. This human really knew how to enjoy life. If she had known earlier, she would have come to the human world earlier. Big sister, you're not the Ice Empress now. How can you still have an imperial chef? Lin Xian said helplessly. That's what I meant. Lin Xian smiled and said, but I can cook delicious food for you. But what can you give me? It was just cooking. It didn't take much time, and it didn't cost much. Then Lin Xian said, what do you think of the dishes you just ate and the lollipops I gave you before? Each has its own merits. But your dishes are more special and on a larger scale. Bing Lingyue said, that's why lollipops are so precious. This table of dishes is more luxurious than lollipops. The price is much higher. You don't know. Maybe the ingredients don't cost much. But to make the ingredients so delicious, the spices are the most expensive. You can go to the kitchen and take a look. Although the bottles and jars can last for a month, they cost a lot. Lin Xian coughed and said, how much does it cost? Bing Lingyue thought for a while, and then stretched out her hand. A beautiful palm-sized sapphire appeared in her hand. This sapphire was priceless back then. It should be enough. Lin Xian swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Damn! She was too rich. Although it was valuable, it wasn't what Lin Xian wanted. Money wasn't as precious as cultivation or spiritual tools. This thing is already worthless in this era. Lin Xian secretly shook his head and said, I see. Then, Bing Lingyue squeezed her hand and the sapphire turned into ashes. Lin Xian. Damn! He was just joking. Compared to spiritual tools, he didn't want it. But it didn't mean it was worthless. Such a large and exquisite sapphire would be worth hundreds of millions each. Just like that. It was gone. His heart ached. Ling Longshue understood something, and then threw a small jade bottle to Lin Xian. There are 6 blood spirit pills inside. Only 6, Lin Xian rubbed his chin. But in his heart, he was laughing to death. Damn, big boobs are really brainless. I've struck gold. Ling Longshue thought for a while, and then threw another jade bottle to Lin Xian. Here are 7 divine spirit pills. They are all level 6 pills, and can greatly restore spiritual power. Lin Xian secretly swallowed a mouthful of saliva. Invincible. These level 6 pills should be able to restore more than half of his spiritual power. Invincible. In the future, these two girls would be Lin Xian's treasures other than the scumbag system. Is it enough? Ling Longshui asked. Lin Xian coughed and pretended to be calm. I can sell it for some money. It's enough for now. Ling Longshui glanced at Lin Xian and asked, when are you going to make more? Lin Xian. Are you hungry? Ling Longshui turned her face away and blushed slightly. No. Tomorrow, I'll buy you some snacks and drink some wine. Drink. If he could get them drunk. Hee hee. Lin Xian rubbed his hands. Chapter 274. All of Lin Xian's actions were premeditated. Facing Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue, he might not have any advantage, but he definitely had an advantage, and that was his understanding of modern society. For example, in modern society, if a man and a woman went out for a meal, and the man took the initiative to drink with the woman, any normal woman would know that the man wanted to get her drunk, and then do whatever he wanted. However, Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue had never come into contact with this. Although they knew that drinking could get them drunk, they did not think about what Lin Xian would do to them if they were drunk, because they did not understand. After all, they did not live in this era. Therefore, this was where Lin Xian's advantage lay. If he did it well, there might be an explosion tonight. He went out to buy some snacks for them, and also bought some red wine that was not high in alcohol content, but had a strong aftertaste. They definitely did not like beer and red wine, but Lin Xian deliberately bought red wine. Generally, girls like them would definitely be able to taste the quality of the red wine. When he returned home, the two girls were lying on the sofa, watching TV. They had finished the bottle of red wine. When they saw Lin Xian return, the two girls subconsciously sat up. Lin Xian could not help but laugh. How cute. When he wasn't around, the two women were more relaxed. They could even lie on the sofa and watch TV comfortably. When he came, the two women were more tense. Perhaps they didn't want others to see that they had such a feminine attitude. Eating snacks and watching TV is the happiest thing. Lin Xian placed 2 big bags of snacks on the coffee table. The two girls curiously looked at the colorful snacks in the bags. Of course, they looked like they were watching TV, as if they were not interested in snacks. However, they would secretly glance at the snacks from the corner of their eyes. Lin Xian was laughing in his heart. These two tsundere women. You two eat. Open it and you can eat it. When you finish the red wine, there's more here. I bought it at a high price. I've done my best for you. I'm going to take a shower first. Then Lin Xian walked away. As soon as Lin Xian left, the two girls moved and rummaged through the bags of snacks. The snacks were not expensive, but the red wine was indeed bought for tens of thousands. They probably would not be able to drink that kind of wine that cost a few $100s. Ling Long, I think he's quite good. He doesn't seem like the kind of person you described. Bing Lingyue peeled a jelly and sucked it into her mouth. Her beautiful eyes lit up. These snacks were really interesting. There was also water, delicious. Ling Longshui was slightly taken aback, and then she said indifferently, in short, it's necessary to be on guard against him. Lingyue was also a little suspicious. The reason why she hated Lin Xian so much was because he had taken her virginity. For a woman like her, there was no one in this world who was worthy of her. To be precise, there was no one who could catch her eye. She was not interested in men at all. Of course, this did not mean that she did not like men and only liked women. However, she had never thought that she would lose her virginity, and it was taken away by a shameless person. She was so weak that she could even kill him with just a thought. But after hearing Bing Lingyue's words, and the fact that Lin Xian did not show any signs of disgust, although she had always hated Lin Xian, she had thought about it carefully. At that time, if Lin Xian did not use this method, she would have killed him. Normally, if she were him, if she only had this method, she would definitely choose to use it in order to survive. Moreover, she could recall that Lin Xian had pushed her away several times, and even tried to leave. She had lost her mind, and used her powerful strength to prevent Lin Xian from leaving. She was the one who pushed Lin Xian away. Thinking of this, Ling Longshui suddenly felt that Lin Xian wasn't wrong. Even though he had used this perverted spray, His reaction was not to defile her, but to leave. Now that she thought about it, she was the one who didn't let Lin Xian leave. Lin Xian seemed to be a gentleman. The only reason she hated Lin Xian was because he had sullied her. There was nothing else. As for taking photos, Ling Longshui thought about it carefully. If a weak person did such a thing, he wouldn't be able to survive even if he ran away. Of course, he would choose an extreme way to save his life. And he didn't have any other methods. If the roles were reversed, Ling Longshui would probably do the same thing as Lin Xian. Thinking of this, Ling Longshui even felt that it was her fault. For the sake of mankind, he was willing to take the risk to go deeper into Linfeng City and tell everyone to retreat. If he wasn't careful, he would have lost his life. Wasn't that admirable? On the contrary, she thought about it. She didn't know what was right and what was wrong. She wanted to kill Lin Xian because she didn't want her sister to be blamed by the Demon Alliance. Lin Xian had always wanted to protect himself. Thinking of this, Ling Longshui felt that it was all because of her own actions. Oh my God! Was she the one who was in the wrong all along? Ling Longshui suddenly thought of this in surprise. Ling Long. Bing Lingyue saw Ling Longshui holding a jelly in a daze. She waved her hand in front of her face. Nothing. Ling Longshui came back to her senses and suddenly felt very uncomfortable in her heart. All along, she felt that Lin Xian deserved to die. However, when she thought about it again, and even put herself in Lin Xian's shoes, she felt that she had been twisting the truth. But she had mysteriously lost her virginity. What was the meaning of this? Lin Xian was thinking as he bathed. He had used a little rice to exchange for a total of 14 precious medicinal pills. This was indeed a huge profit. When the time came, he would give some to Ling Ying, Miao Xiao Miao, and the others. He would keep some for himself. These girls were his women. If he didn't give them to them, who else would he give them to? If these pills could save his life at a critical moment, then they could save their lives too. If he had these 2 pills when he was facing Chu Haohan, Lin Xian wouldn't have been as miserable as he was before. He would have been able to use his martial arts more often, and he would have been able to heal his injuries faster. The one who was suffering was Chu Haohan. Next, Lin Xian had to prepare for the Sky Martial Conference. There was still more than a week before the Sky Martial Conference began. He had to reach the mysterious heaven realm within this period of time. This way, his chances of winning would be much higher. As for Qin Xiaoyan's matter, Lin Xian wanted to settle it after the Sky Martial Conference. He wanted to beat up Qin Xiaotian during the Sky Martial Conference, beat up this so-called genius. However, before that, perhaps he could obtain evidence first. Perhaps, with the Sky Martial Conference approaching, this Qin Xiaotian would be very anxious to increase his strength again, right? Chapter 275. When Lin Xian walked out, he saw that the 2 girls had finished another bottle of red wine. The trash can was full of snacks. Oh my God! Can you imagine that an empress, a void fox, a virtuous realm elite, 2 unimaginably noble goddesses, could finish snacks faster than those gluttons? This was the complete opposite of their personas. Goddesses like them should be disdainful of such things, and be too lazy to even look at them. However, because they had never tried it before, they were very curious and really liked it. However, such a scene was actually quite comical and funny. Wow! Who can afford to feed you? Lin Xian saw this scene, and then exclaimed exaggeratedly. His words caused the 2 of them to blush a little. It was unknown whether it was because of the aftereffects of drinking or because they were embarrassed by Lin Xian's words. But the 2 of them were blushing a little. F***ck. This was too tempting. It's not like I don't want to give you money. Ling Longshui mumbled. That's fine. Lin Xian grinned. Anything could be negotiated with money. To Lin Xian this was just a small amount of money. However, every item that Ling Longshui was cheated by Lin Xian was unimaginably precious. Finished drinking? I still have another bottle here. Lin Xian gave them another bottle of red wine. They were completely treating red wine as a beverage. However, this was the effect that Lin Xian wanted. Otherwise, how could he do whatever he wanted? No, I'm a little dizzy. Bing Lingyue shook her head lightly and said. Ling Longshui also felt a little dizzy. Usually, when she was at her residence, she would also drink. However, she drank the 100-flower wine that was brewed by the elves. That wine was the best, but it was very rare, and had almost no alcohol content and no after-effects. Usually, after taking a shower, she liked to sit on the balcony full of beautiful flowers, and enjoy the breeze from dozens of meters above. She would sit on a chair and read a book. This was the most comfortable moment in her life. As for the books she read, of course, they were all human books. She found it very interesting. However, now she had fallen. Now, she liked to watch TV. Who could stand this? However, this red wine, how should she describe it? She had never drunk it before, but it tasted good. While watching TV, eating snacks, and pouring wine, she subconsciously wanted to take a few mouthfuls. Somehow she finished it all. Hearing their words, Lin Xian was delighted. Dizzy. Since they were already dizzy, he couldn't let them stop. If he drank a little more, he would be able to achieve the effect that the big bad wolf wanted. Maybe Bing Lingyue would be drugged tonight. Wahahaha. Do you usually have insomnia? Lin Xian sat next to Linglong Shui, then grabbed some pistachios and peeled them. Insomnia? Bing Lingyue nodded and said, "At that time I often had insomnia. Maybe it was because of the serious situation at that time." What about you? Lin Xian asked Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui didn't know why. She was clearly Lin Xian's enemy, and hated him so much, but she actually chose to answer his questions. It was as though they were chatting like friends. Perhaps it was because she felt that Lin Xian was actually a good person after interacting with him for so long. Furthermore, she had indeed thought through many things. Even if Lin Xian destroyed those photos, Linglong Shui might not kill Lin Xian, because she felt that if she did, she might blame herself in her heart. She didn't know. She only knew that her thoughts were very messy. Very messy. I don't know. Linglong Shui replied. Lin Xian, why did this girl suddenly change her attitude? You can't sleep well, or you're usually upset. Drinking some wine is good. You may only feel a little dizzy now, but if you drink too much, you'll feel the most comfortable when you're really dizzy, because you can forget all your troubles. Lin Xian said after that. Drinking to drown your troubles? Bing Lingyue pondered for a moment. That's right. Otherwise, why would we have such a word, right? That makes sense. Bing Lingyue nodded slightly. Also, you're strong, so you can use your spiritual power to disperse the alcohol. But you have to cherish that feeling of drunkenness. It's very rare. Lin Xian began to set a trap for them. Linglong Shui didn't quite understand, because she had never been drunk before. But she felt that this feeling of drunkenness was very strange. I'll drink some more. Linglong Shui passed the wine glass to Lin Xian. That's right. I'm doing this for your sake. Lin Xian laughed and poured another cup for her. Then Bing Lingyue asked for some as well. Lin Xian also poured a glass for himself, and clinked glasses with them. The three of them actually kept drinking and chatting. They didn't even watch TV. Ding! Detected that the host wants to get the young lady drunk on purpose, to achieve some unspeakable, wretched, and despicable goal. This is the behavior of a scumbag. Scumbag value plus 1 million. Oh my god! Lin Xian felt that this was too fake. Was he really doing something that scumbags did more and more? Inexplicably, he was subconsciously moving in this direction. But it was still okay. At least the targets he wanted to target were related to him. This way, at least he didn't feel as guilty as before. Suddenly, Lin Xian's gaze fell on Bing Lingyue's palm. There was a light red thing that looked like a pimple. But it wasn't a pimple. A heavenly venerable, who was about to step into the absolute stage, had a pimple? Bullsh *T. Little Bing Lingyue, what's this? Lin Xian asked curiously. Bing Lingyue then looked at her own palm and frowned. What was this? Even she herself showed a puzzled expression. Looking at Bing Lingyue's expression, Lin Xian was also curious. She didn't know. Bing Lingyue really didn't know. She remembered that she didn't have it before. Chastity sand. Linglong Shui blurted out when she saw it. Lin Xian. Chastity sand? It can't be. Lin Xian showed an expression of disbelief. Wasn't the chastity sand something that could only be added to a pure body through some special method? In other words, Bing Lingyue was still a virgin? It couldn't be. She had loved someone so deeply 800 years ago. And she was still a virgin? That man couldn't be incompetent, right? She was such a beautiful empress, and he liked her so much. How could she still be a virgin? Bing Lingyue didn't think much of it. Because the person in her mind was Linglong Shui, a girl. It was reasonable that she was still a virgin. Linglong Shui's face was red. She had drunk a lot, and was even more drunk. Chapter 276. When Lin Xian saw Linglong Shui's appearance, he laughed inwardly. Then, he poured another cup for Linglong Shui. Linglong Shui didn't reject it. Ding! Linglong Shui's favorability towards you +5. Lin Xian. Wow! Her favorability increased by 5 points. What a miracle! Linglong Shui was probably high from drinking. She threw her head back and down the entire cup in one gulp. It was probably because she was feeling vexed. Then, Linglong Shui let out a cute burp. Really, such a woman would be so beautiful when she revealed this side of her. You should have a little more too. Lin Xian poured another cup for Bing Lingyue. By the way, Xiao Linglong, do you know if there are any heaven and earth treasures of various attributes nearby? If they're very strong, they should be within the range I can accept. Lin Xian asked. With Linglong Shui's strength, she naturally knew a lot. Various attributes. Linglong Shui looked drunkenly at Lin Xian with half-squinted eyes. Then, she tilted her head and thought for a moment before saying, Sacred Flaming Dragon Lair. Sacred Flaming Dragon Lair? Lin Xian asked in surprise. Yes, that's a place where a heavenly Dao realm true dragon fell. Over time, that place became a fire elemental massive heaven and earth spirit vein. There are extremely strong fire elemental elements there, but you're too weak. Linglong Shui leaned into the sofa's pillow drunkenly as she spoke. She had completely recovered and rubbed her face against the pillow. Then she slowly closed her eyes. Her face was red, and she had a silly smile on her face. Lin Xian. Holy sh*t. She was drunk just like that. Linglong is drunk. Bing Lingyue glanced at Linglong Shui and said softly. Lin Xian nodded. Yes, but she should be very relaxed. Lin Xian chuckled. Bing Lingyue was slightly taken aback when she saw Linglong Shui's silly smile. It was really amazing to be drunk. Then, Bing Lingyue carried Linglong Shui into the third bedroom of the house. Usually no one lived here. She put Linglong Shui on the bed and covered her with a blanket. Then, she walked out of the room while supporting herself against the wall. Since she was leaning against the wall, it proved that she was drunk. Do you still want to drink? Asked Lin Xian asked. Yes, said Bing Lingyue said domineeringly. Then she poured herself a cup. She was so shaky that she couldn't even hold it properly. Linglong. I seem, said Shui's Lingyue blushing. Shui. Said Shui laughed Shui. Said Lingyue saw was Shui. Bing Lingyue tilted her head and looked at Lin Xian before taking a sip. It's okay. I'm a little drunk too, said Lin Xian. I think you're okay. I'm going to be drunk soon. This was the scary thing about ignorance. They didn't know what would happen if they got drunk. 20 minutes later, Bing Lingyue was lying on the sofa. Lin Xian shook his head and looked at Bing Lingyue. He picked her up and turned off the lights in the bedroom. He placed her beside Linglong Shui and covered her with a blanket. He was hesitating. He could do whatever he wanted with these two. But Lin Xian hesitated. Before this, he thought that as long as he got the two of them drunk, he could start his evil plan. But when he saw them lying there unconscious, Lin Xian became sober. He could indeed eat them now. But what about in the future? What about when they woke up? What was the price? The price might be that the two women's impression of Lin Xian would plummet. Even the trust they had for Lin Xian would disappear. Of course, Lin Xian could complete Bing Lingyue's mission. Water and ice attributes would be permanently unlocked. But what about Linglong Shui? She would really hate him. She would really not trust him. Then the mission of making her Lin Xian's girlfriend would be impossible. This was Lin Xian forcing himself to increase the difficulty of this mission. And the price of this mission was leveling up to 0. He could not complete it. But if he did, would there be any benefits? For example, would it make their relationship better? Or would there be fewer grudges between them? Of course not. Because they were not little girls. Their personalities were cold, and they were of noble status. When faced with such a situation, they would only do what Linglong Shui did. They would want to kill Lin Xian, and would not give in to Lin Xian. Ugh! Lin Xian scratched his head. It was so uncomfortable. Two women like this were lying here, and he was terrified again. In the end, Lin Xian was scared. Should I have some fun? Lin Xian suddenly thought of something. No. F***ck. This was too F***king perverted. This was not him. Lin Xian quickly shook his head, and then pulled the blanket over them. Sigh, I'm not a scumbag, I'm a good person. If they knew, wouldn't they be touched to death? Lin Xian let out a sigh, but his heart was bleeding. But thinking about it, this was a better way to take them down in the future. It was not a bad thing. Ding. Detected that the host did not fulfill his duty as a scumbag. Scumbag value, 2000000. Lin Xian, F***ck. The system was also targeting him. 2 million, which meant that the scumbag points he earned from them tonight were gone for nothing. But it was not a loss. Why? Lin Xian suddenly thought about it. If he did not do it, their favorability towards him would increase, and they would trust him more. This was good. But if he did, they would start to dislike him. Then how would he cheat them of their treasures in the future? Even if it was for these medicinal pills, spiritual weapons, spiritual treasures of heaven and earth, Lin Xian couldn't do it. And if he gained their favorability and trust, it would be easier to take them down in the future. Secondly, he could get more treasures from them. Alright. Lin Xian suddenly thought of something. Back then, when he used the big wheel to spin the obedience spray powder, he also spun something called Secret Promise of Affection. Lin Xian had not looked at the effect of the silent promise until now. Then Lin Xian took out a petal. That's right, the silent promise was a pink petal half the size of a palm. Silent promise. Type. Item, a special item from the system's big wheel. You can use the silent promise effect to increase the favorability of a member of the opposite sex by 30. Lin Xian, F***ck. Lin Xian was secretly speechless. He had such a good item, but he did not use it. Was he a stinky little brother? An increase of 30 favorable impression points was a good thing. Then, Lin Xian used it on Linglong Shui without hesitation. Ding. Linglong Shui's favorability towards you plus 30. Why did he use it on Linglong Shui? Because she was related to whether Lin Xian's level would reach 0. She was too important. 30 favorability. Now, Linglong Shui's favorability towards Lin Xian had reached 17. Positive. Chapter 277. Linglong Shui's favorability towards him went from negative to positive 17 points. This was good news. Lin Xian believed that it was the hardest thing to change someone's opinion of him. Since she hated someone, how could she change her opinion of him? But now, with the support of Linglong Shui's heart, Lin Xian seemed to have skipped the most difficult stage. 17 points of favorability. Although she didn't have a good impression of him, she probably didn't hate him or want to kill him anymore, right? Lin Xian thought so. Now that the favorability was positive, the next step was to work hard to increase it to 50 points. If he could make Linglong Shui's favorability towards him reach 50 points, that would be awesome. This goddess's wife would be in his hands. However, if he wanted to raise this kind of status, it would definitely be more difficult than any other woman to raise the favorability of Xian Jing. As for Bing Lingyue, Lin Xian also thought of a way to make her do it willingly. Because of the acacia flower, she had special feelings for Linglong Shui. To Lin Xian, this wasn't a difficult part. Instead, it would be an important part for him to complete her mission easily. But he needed an opportunity and time. After all, she was the empress. Actually, the most important thing was still Linglong Shui. Her mission was too important. Firstly, it concerned Lin Xian's space attribute. Secondly, if he couldn't complete it, all his previous efforts would be wasted, losing his realm. This was Lin Xian's main goal. Lin Xian felt that Bing Lingyue's punishment of losing her ice and water attributes couldn't be compared to this. This was because Lin Xian could not allow himself to lose his cultivation base. There were still threats outside. He wasn't safe yet. Moreover, Lin Xian had already thought of a way to increase Ling Longshue's favorability towards him. This method was risky. If it failed, he might lose Ling Longshue, and his life might even be in danger. But if it succeeded, he would gain a lot of favorability. The time of implementation was tomorrow. That was why it was said that flirting with girls and grasping their thoughts was a skill. There was no end. When you can master this knowledge, then everywhere in the world will be paradise. For Lin Xian, the most important thing was F*ck. He could do whatever he wanted with these two beauties, but he couldn't. Who could understand this feeling? Then, Lin Xian took another look at them, pressed down on his brother, and walked out aggrievedly. Tonight might be the peak of his life, but if he gave up, he might be able to achieve even more peaks in his life. You can only get something if you give it up. You can only get more if you give it up. Lin Xian went to his room to sleep. He really wished that he could have a girl right now, because these two girls had made him so angry. He sent a message to Ling Ying. I want to have sex. Ling Ying replied, Scram. Then, Lin Xian aggrievedly sent a message to Lu Yufan. This girl was also not asleep. She replied, Come to my house, I'll have sex with you. Lin Xian did not believe it. This girl must be lying. Lin Xian asked her to come out, but she would rather die than come out, because she knew that if she came out in the middle of the night, she would definitely be eaten by Lin Xian, the big bad wolf. Lin Xian sighed. Girls these days are really hard to have sex with. Then, Lin Xian looked at his friend and saw that Miao Xiao Miao was busy. This girl was not asleep yet? Hey, little Miao Miao, do you want to have sex? I'll pay for the room. Lin Xian sent a message over. Miao Xiao Miao immediately replied. 3 years. Lin Xian was stunned. What 3 years? Then he understood. This little lass is quite interesting, haha. Then I'm willing to go to jail. Lin Xian sent another message. Are you sending messages in the middle of the night? Where's your fairy sister? Rolling eyes, Miao Xiao Miao replied. I'm still thinking about you. Then Miao Xiao Miao sent a vomiting emoji. Lin Xian smiled. Actually, this was quite good. It would be awkward if he could not say such things face to face. But it was different online. If he said sex online, then he could say it face to face. Then, he would take her down. Little Miao Miao, tell me the truth. Did you set me to special care? Squinting smile. Miao Xiao Miao immediately replied. Impossible, Scram. At this moment Miao Xiao Miao, who was lying on the bed with her phone and laptop, suddenly blushed. She guiltily cancelled the special care. TSK, still pretending. You were busy just now. You wouldn't have received a message notification when you were busy, but you replied instantly. This means that you must have heard the special care. Even if you were invisible, there would still be a message. Little Miao Miao, little Miao Miao. I didn't know that I was so important to you. I'm so happy. Miao Xiao Miao's face was completely red. It was as if she had been exposed for doing something bad. Scram. I just happened to see it. Haha, sex. Go to hell. So cute. Your Miao Miao sister has activated friend verification. You are not her friend yet. Please send a friend request first. You can only chat after the other party has accepted the request. Sending friend request. Lin Xian. He was stunned. That red exclamation mark. And then the system's reply. This chick had deleted him. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian was not angry. Instead, he could not help but laugh. He could roughly guess why Miao Xiao Miao deleted him. It was not because she was angry, but because she was shy. At this moment, Miao Xiao Miao threw her phone aside and hugged her pillow. She buried her head in the pillow and hammered her pillow with her fists. Miao Xiao Miao lay on the bed panting. Her face was completely red. She had set Lin Xian as special care, but he had seen through her. So embarrassing. That's right. She was embarrassed and did not know how to reply to Lin Xian. She felt that the more she replied, the more unclear it would be, so she deleted him. But when she calmed down and thought about it, wouldn't she be admitting that she had deleted him? I'm so stupid. Bastard Lin Xian. Despicable, despicable, despicable. Miao Xiao Miao hammered her poor pink pillow with her fists. At this moment, Lin Xian was laughing happily. He added Meow Xiao Meow as a friend, and Meow Xiao Meow agreed. I'm going to sleep. Don't disturb me. After Meow Xiao Meow said that, Lin Xian saw that her profile picture had turned gray. Good night, I miss you. Cute emoji. Lin Xian sent a message. Meow Xiao Meow's heart was filled with sweetness when she saw Lin Xian's message. Sigh. What should I do when I have nowhere to go at night? Then, Lin Xian sent a message to Wang Xintong. Wang Xintong took about 5 minutes to reply to Lin Xian. Chapter 278. Did you drink fake milk powder again? Seeing Wang Xintong's reply, Lin Xian laughed out loud. This girl. Since she could reply like this, she should be in a good mood now, right? Then, Lin Xian and Wang Xintong started a video call and chatted for about 20 minutes. She was still training at the Divine Palace's training ground. Lin Xian's heart ached when he heard this. She had really changed too much and worked too hard. However, Lin Xian respected her choice. Other people might start training from a young age, practicing swordsmanship, fighting techniques, spiritual power release, martial arts release, and a series of other areas. However, Wang Xintong was still too late. Therefore, she needed to become stronger and quickly reach the heights of her peers. She needed to work several times harder. How should he put it? Although it was tiring, Lin Xian felt that it was right. At least her choice was right. Moreover, in this era, if she could improve herself so much, it would also be a guarantee for her safety. Lin Xian would also not have to worry about her. Exchange for attribute increasing potions. Lin Xian spent 10 million scum points to exchange for 2 attribute increasing potions. He planned to give one to Wang Xintong and the other to Ling Ying. They were Lin Xian's women. If he didn't give them to his own women, who would Lin Xian give them to? Lin Xian was able to grow to where he was now, other than his own efforts. Wasn't it because of these girls? He still had 30 million scum points left. It didn't matter. As long as they were here, these scum points would be endless. Ding. Linglong Shue's favorability towards you +1. The next morning, Linglong Shue's room door was pushed open. The 2 girls were awakened by a faint fragrance. After washing up in the bathroom, the 2 girls walked out. Of course, the first thing they did when they woke up was to look at their clothes subconsciously. They realized that there were no traces of being violated. Lin Xian was making breakfast in the kitchen when he heard the system notification that Linglong Shue's favorability towards him had increased. So difficult. It was indeed difficult to gain favorability from such a woman. However, Bing Lingyue didn't, because only those who had triggered the confession mission could check a girl's favorability. However, it didn't mean that Bing Lingyue's favorability towards Lin Xian did not increase. Lin Xian felt that this was a bug. All the girls who had triggered the mission should be able to see the favorability. That would be great. It smells so good, Bing Lingyue said from the bottom of her heart. Really? She felt that all the delicacies she had eaten in the past were not as good as the ones Lin Xian made. Even if it took a chef half a day to make them. It was mainly because of the seasoning. There were not as many seasonings in that era. You're awake. Drink a cup of warm milk first. You'll be fine after breakfast. Lin Xian stuck his head out of the kitchen. The 2 girls who were standing there sniffing the fragrance quickly came back to their senses. They sat on the coffee table and looked at the 2 cups of warm milk on the table. Linglong Shue suddenly thought of something. Ding. Felt Linglong Shue's embarrassment and anger. Scumbag value plus 100,000. Lin Xian. Lin Xian was dumbfounded. Suddenly, a system notification popped up. What did he do? Don't drink it. Linglong Shue saw that Bing Lingyue was about to drink it and quickly stopped her. Bing Lingyue was slightly stunned. She looked at Linglong Shue in surprise and asked, "What's wrong?" Linglong Shue walked into the kitchen angrily. "What's in your cup?" "Milk." Lin Xian looked at the angry and embarrassed Linglong Shue dumbfounded. "How dare you make me drink something so obscene? Pervert, you deserve to die." Linglong Shue still remembered that after Lin Xian left, she went to take a shower, and there was something like this on her legs. Of course, she knew what it was. Lin Xian. At first, Lin Xian was really confused. What did he do? Why did he deserve to die? Then, as an experienced player, he saw Ling Longshue's expression and understood. Pfft. In the next second, Lin Xian spat out the milk. Damn. Ha ha ha. Lin Xian was laughing so hard that he had to lean against the wall. His temples hurt from all the laughing. What are you laughing at? Ling Longshue frowned slightly. Bing Lingyue walked over with the milk, confused. Ha ha, come, I'll drink it for you. Then, Lin Xian took the milk and drank it. Ling Longshue. She realized that she was wrong. This is called milk. You can think of it as a drink. It's commonly drunk in the morning. It's good for the body. It's not my thing, Lin Xian said. Ding. Felt Ling Longshue's shyness. The degree of shyness is quite high. Scumbag value plus 300,000. Ling Longshue's shyness probably increased the scumbag value in history, right? Lin Xian's scumbag value also increased to 3211000. Why don't I understand? Ling Long, what does Lin Xian mean by that? Bing Lingyue asked curiously. She's talking about my. Ling Longshue moved her finger and Lin Xian's mouth was sealed. No, nothing. Ling Longshue guiltily snatched the milk from Lin Xian's hand and quickly drank it. Because of her guilty conscience and shyness, she even forgot that it was Lin Xian who drank it. Ah, Ling Long, that's what Lin Xian drank. Ling Longshue. Lin Xian really wanted to laugh to death. So Ling Longshue was so dirty. Ding. Ling Longshue's favorability towards you +2. The reason why the favorability increased was probably because Ling Longshue misunderstood Lin Xian. She was shy and felt that what she did was not very good. So the favorability increased. Lin Xian could also speak. He smiled and said, "It's okay, I don't mind." Ling Longshue. Bang. The glass of milk was thrown at him. Damn. Don't you need to clean it up? Lin Xian dodged and looked at the milk and shards on the floor and said loudly. Ling Longshue walked away with a red face. Bing Lingyue walked over and stretched out her hand. The milk and shards on the floor all floated in the air, and then flew into the trash can. I'll do it, Bing Lingyue said to Lin Xian apologetically. It's okay, you're much better than her. She owes the sun. Lin Xian mumbled. Ling Longshue, who was sitting on the sofa, felt very complicated. It was too messy. She just felt that what she did was wrong. She misunderstood Lin Xian and did not apologize to him. Instead, she smashed the milk on the floor. It was indeed wrong, but for her to apologize? She didn't know what was going on, but she felt very upset. She felt that Lin Xian hadn't done anything wrong to her, at least not yet. He even went around helping them and cooking for them. Although they were the ones who washed the dishes after the meal, she still felt upset. He doesn't blame you. Bing Lingyue walked over and said to Ling Longshue. Ling Longshue glanced at Lin Xian, who was still making breakfast for them in the kitchen. After thinking for a moment, she got up and took a lollipop from the coffee table. She peeled it and walked over. Chapter 279. Lin Xian was in the middle of making noodles when he saw Ling Longshue walking over. He subconsciously blocked the pot and looked at her with vigilance. This girl wouldn't want to flip the pot, right? Here. Ling Longshue handed the lollipop to Lin Xian. Lin Xian. Lin Xian had a dumbfounded look on his face. What was going on? She couldn't have poisoned it, right? Lin Xian slowly reached out his hand, intending to take it. However, he retracted his hand halfway through. Well, the weather today is very good. Lin Xian coughed dryly, but he still did not dare to take the lollipop. Ling Longshue looked out of the window, then nodded slightly and said softly, "About what happened just now, I'm sorry." Lin Xian's mouth was wide open. Damn, what did he just hear? Ling Longshue actually apologized to him. Damn, was this still the high and mighty Ling Longshue? You're still drunk, right? Lin Xian waved his hand in front of Ling Longshue. Ling Longshue then stuffed the lollipop into Lin Xian's hand and walked away. Anyway, she had already apologized. Since she had said it, she did not care about anything else. Lin Xian held the lollipop and smiled at Ling Longshue, who was sitting on the sofa outside. Today should be wonderful. Soon, Lin Xian walked out with 2 bowls of noodles. Time to eat. Lin Xian placed the 2 bowls of noodles in front of them. Where's yours? Ling Longshui glanced at Lin Xian. Why? Are you worried that I'll only cook for you and not for myself? You're worried about me. Lin Xian smiled and looked at Ling Longshui. Then, Ling Longshui ignored Lin Xian and lowered her head to eat her noodles. Bing Lingyue was already smelling the fragrance. She swore that this was the most delicious smell she had ever smelled in her life. How is it? Is it good? Lin Xian asked expectantly. Anyway, he had cooked seafood noodles for many girls, and none of them said it was bad. This was Lin Xian's favorite noodles. Okay. Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue nodded slightly, and then ate their own breakfast. Lin Xian also brought his bowl over. The three of them sat together, and only the sound of slurping noodles could be heard. I'll bring you two out later, and buy a phone each. Bing Lingyue still didn't know what a phone was, but Ling Longshui knew. She just didn't know how to use it. What is that? It's this. Lin Xian took out the phone and put it in front of her, then said, Don't underestimate this. Even if we are thousands of miles away, we can see and hear each other. This spiritual device is so powerful. Lin Xian smiled. This is not a spiritual device. This is the power of technology. After the meal, Ling Longshui and Bing Lingyue actually took the initiative to wash the dishes. After washing the dishes, they even cleaned the place as if it was their home. They felt that this was not bad. It was simple, and they did not need to use their own strength to do anything. Bing Lingyue was washing fruits in the kitchen seriously. Lin Xian and Ling Longshui were sitting on the sofa. Ling Longshui was watching TV far away from Lin Xian. Lin Xian moved a little closer, and she moved a little further away. Lin Xian moved a little closer, and she moved a little further away. When she was at the edge, she frowned and glanced at Lin Xian. What? Lin Xian hesitated, then looked at her beautiful face and said, There's something I want to tell you. Speak. Actually, I don't have your photos or videos. That's right. This was Lin Xian's idea last night. He wanted to confess to Ling Longshui. If her life was in danger, then she might kill him after she lost her fear. However, Lin Xian did not think that would happen. If he succeeded, it would increase her favorability towards him. Right now, Ling Longshui's favorability towards him was simply too important. He had to do everything he could to increase her favorability towards him in order to complete the mission. If Ling Longshui's favorability towards him was negative, Lin Xian wouldn't have dared to say anything. But now, her favorability towards him had actually reached 20. Although it was only because of secret devotion, it was still a positive 20 favorability. With such a high favorability towards him, it wouldn't be right if she still had the intention to kill him. Moreover, she even apologized just now. This was enough to prove something. This was also why Lin Xian dared to tell her this. Ling Longshui frowned again. What do you mean? Actually, I didn't take your photos or videos at all. I was just lying to you to protect myself. Looking at Ling Longshui's expression, Lin Xian asked, You don't believe me? Ling Longshui nodded. Let me show you my phone. Look, the photos are all here. There are only a few photos, and you are not in them at all. You still don't believe me? Believe me or not? Ling Longshui did not know, but she actually believed something. Why do you dare to say this to me? Are you not afraid that I will kill you? Ling Longshui's body emitted a cold aura. I'm not afraid. Because you won't kill me, right? Lin Xian looked at her and laughed. You think too highly of yourself. Then do it. Lin Xian closed his eyes. In front of him, Ling Longshui stretched out her hand. A wave of energy gathered in her palm. After a few seconds, the energy dissipated. Lin Xian could no longer feel the energy. He laughed in his heart, and then opened his eyes. You really didn't take any photos? Lin Xian nodded. The reason why I dared to tell you this is because I feel that although you are cold, you are a good person. I feel that you won't kill me, so I dared to tell you. Moreover, if I really wanted to take any photos, I could have taken anything when you were drunk last night. Right? Ling Longshui thought carefully for a moment. It was true. Last night, she really was unconscious. At that time, someone might have succeeded if they wanted to kill her. Thank you. Ling Longshui actually thanked him. Ding. Ling Longshui's favorability towards you +5. Lin Xian. Only 5 points, to be honest. Lin Xian was a little disappointed. He originally thought that he would at least get 10 points of favorability. It was enough to see how difficult it was to raise Linglong Shue's favorability. However, the most difficult negative favorability was skipped by Secret Promise, which lowered the difficulty by a lot. In fact, he didn't lose anything. With this weakness, Linglong Shue didn't kill him. Without it, Linglong Shue didn't kill him either. He even exchanged it for 5 points of favorability. It wasn't a loss. Then, don't you plan to repay me with something? Lin Xian smiled and asked. Why should I repay you? It's your fault. Linglong Shue said truthfully. Ai alright. Lin Xian shrugged his shoulders. 25 points of favorability. It was still 25 points away from the 50 points required for a confession. In a short period of time, there might not be a good way to raise this favorability. And Lin Xian couldn't spend all his time with them, right? Bing Lingyue walked over with fruits. Chapter 280. Linglong Shue's mind was in a mess again. She wasn't sure if Lin Xian was telling the truth, but she was leaning towards the truth. She had wanted to tear Lin Xian into pieces before, but now she didn't want to kill him anymore. How is that possible? He was the main culprit who had taken away her virginity. Why didn't she kill him? Linglong Shue didn't know what was going on with her. Here. Bing Lingyue handed Lin Xian an apple and a cucumber to Linglong Shue. She took a tomato and bit into it. Hey, cucumbers and tomatoes aren't fruits. They're vegetables. Lin Xian said with a smile. They're delicious too, Bing Lingyue said honestly. She was the empress, but now she was washing fruits for them. This was something she had never done before, but she could do it easily now. She didn't feel like an empress anymore. She liked to live a carefree life like this. She didn't have to worry about being attacked by other countries, and she didn't have to think about attacking other countries. She didn't have to think about whether the people in her country were living in peace. It had nothing to do with her anymore. The main reason was that she was not interested in power. Otherwise, she would not have been able to change her status from a high and mighty empress to an ordinary powerhouse so easily. Let's go. I'll show you around. I'll leave in the afternoon. You can stay here temporarily. If you want to go out and have fun, I'll give you a sum of money. You're leaving? Linglong Shue didn't know why she asked that. Why? You can't bear to leave me? Lin Xian asked with a smile. Linglong Shue quickly turned her head. Leave quickly. Otherwise, I'm afraid I won't be able to hold back and kill you. Okay. Sigh, what a heartless woman. Lin Xian brought them around the whole morning. He bought them mobile phones, taught them how to use them, added them as friends, and left his phone number. I just taught you how to pay. Now I'll transfer you some money. You can go out and buy clothes, food, or games. But, Lin Xian laughed in his heart, then said, this is not a small amount of money, Xiao Linglong, you know. Bing Lingyue didn't ask Linglong Shue to give Lin Xian anything else. Instead, she pointed her slender finger at Lin Xian's forehead. A faint blue energy swirled around Lin Xian's body. This is an Earth Rank 8-star martial skill. Ice frost filling the sky. It should be enough, right? Ding. You have successfully learned the skill Frost Sky. Exchanging a few 100,000 for an Earth-ranked 8-star ice attribute martial skill was more than enough. It was simply a profit. Simply speaking, Earth-ranked martial skills were extremely heaven-defying and rare. In an ordinary auction, an 8-star Earth-ranked martial skill would fetch a price of over 50 million, and even exceed 100 million. The main reason was that there was no market for it. Enough. Lin Xian smiled. Ice attribute martial skills were basically for control. This was also the strongest aspect of ice attribute martial skills. It was the strongest control attribute. Then you guys have fun by yourselves. I'll leave first. I've given you the key. If there's anything you don't understand, just give me a call. Lin Xian waved his hand and left the house. For some reason, after Lin Xian left, Linglong Shue even felt that something was missing. Linglong, let's go out and play. We only went around such a small area. There are still many places we haven't explored. And with this set of clothes, I want to buy more. Okay. They were slowly getting familiar with the human world. On the way, Lin Xian couldn't wait to take a look at the effect of Frost Sky. Frost Sky, grade, Earth rank 8-star attribute, ice. Condenses the frost energy within the body and releases it. The frost energy will cover a range of up to 30 meters in the blink of an eye, freezing all units within the range of 30 meters, and dealing a minimum of 300% and a maximum of 500% frost energy. Spiritual energy cost, 800. After seeing the effect of Frost Sky, Lin Xian was secretly speechless. Frost Sky was actually similar to Five Thunder Celestial Phenomenon. It had a large range of damage, and the closer it was, the higher the damage. However, even if the two martial skills had the same effect, as long as the attributes were different, they were still two martial skills. Moreover, this was also different. The most important thing about Frost Sky was that the damage was actually 2. The freezing range of up to 30 meters was very powerful. Even if it could be frozen for a second, it could bring about a turnaround in the battle. Of the same grade, the damage was not as great as the 5 Lightning Constellation. The range was 10 meters larger than the 5 Lightning Constellation, and there was more freezing. Therefore, the consumption of spiritual energy was much higher than the 5 Lightning Constellation. In short, having an additional martial skill would greatly increase one's battle prowess, especially if it was an Earth-tier martial skill. I just don't know how effective this Frost Sky is. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. This effect was mainly due to Lin Xian being at the 9th star arcane body realm. Although it was difficult to instantly kill a 9th star arcane body realm cultivator, it wasn't impossible. After all, this was an Earth stage 8-star martial skill. The grade was right there. Or, how long could it freeze a profound heaven 1-star realm cultivator? Or could it even be frozen? Logically speaking, it should be possible. After all, it was an Earth stage 8-star martial technique. However, the specific effects would only be known through actual combat. Lin Xian then went to look for Wang Xintong. Wang Xintong was actually still in the sacred palace. This made Lin Xian really need to say a few words. It was fine to train there in the middle of the night, but a night had passed, and it was already afternoon. She was still there. He thought that she had rested midway, but Lin Xian asked Qin Feng, and found out that she hadn't rested. At this realm, it didn't matter if she didn't sleep for a few days, but this kind of training was too hard. Improving oneself didn't need to be done like this, especially for an ordinary girl. This needed to be done step by step. Arriving at the Sacred Palace's arena, Wang Xintong was currently fighting with a simulated demonic beast. Lin Xian. Qin Feng watched from the side and shouted when he saw Lin Xian coming over. "Uncle Qin, she's too hard. You don't care." Qin Feng said helplessly. "I've said it many times. She's very persistent. For someone of her realm, training for 2 days straight isn't a problem. She's your girlfriend, so it's normal to feel sorry for her. I think it's fine." Lin Xian nodded slightly. "That's true, but she hasn't undergone much training before. She's just like that. And that's true. You should take care of it. I'll go have a cup of tea first." With that, Qin Feng walked away. Lin Xian pressed the button on the other side, and Wang Xintong's simulated opponent disappeared. Wang Xintong stood there panting, sweat dripping onto the ground. Then, she looked around and saw Lin Xian walking towards her. "Why are you here?" Wang Xintong wiped her sweat. Slap. Lin Xian's palm landed on her butt. It was a very hard slap. Chapter 281. Wang Xintong blushed and took 2 steps back. She covered her butt and looked at Lin Xian angrily. "What are you doing?" "What am I doing? I called you in the middle of the night last night. You were training until this afternoon. What are you doing?" Lin Xian looked at Wang Xintong angrily. Wang Xintong rubbed her butt and lowered her head like a child who did something wrong. I have to work hard to improve myself." Lin Xian shook his head and pulled her to the side. He released his ice attribute energy to lower her temperature. "You can't rely on cultivation like this. You have to persevere and not blindly rush forward. Maybe you had good results the day before, but you're tired. You're so tired that you can't display your strength. In the battle with the demon beasts, Your improvement is all in a state of fatigue. In this state, what you're doing is like doing a mission. You have to defeat the opponent. But don't forget what you want to do. You want to learn. What can you learn in this state of extreme fatigue? Wang Xintong lowered her head, but felt that Lin Xian's words made sense. It was because she felt that both of her attributes were not offensive attributes that she trained her combat abilities so crazily. I know. You're a good child if you know your mistakes and correct them. Lin Xian smiled and handed her a towel to wipe her face. I'll send you home. Take a shower and have a good rest. You can practice again tomorrow. No need to trouble you. I can go back by myself. Wang Xintong hurriedly said. Look at what you're saying. I'm your boyfriend. Is it troublesome for me to send you home? Isn't that what I should do? Lin Xian pinched her pink cheeks and said. Don't be so formal with me in the future. Do you hear me? Otherwise, I'll have sex with you when we get home. You actually said that I drank fake milk powder. Wang Xintong's face was flushed red as she lightly nodded. This girl. To be honest, Lin Xian's heart ached. She was supposed to be in her budding years, yet she was using it to cultivate. But Lin Xian had no other choice but to help her. Why do you have the ice attribute? Only then did Wang Xintong feel that the surroundings were very cool. Then, she saw that it was Lin Xian's body that was releasing cold energy. She revealed a shocked expression. Amazing, right? Lin Xian grinned. You possess the spatial lightning and ice attributes? Wang Xintong's mouth was wide open. Shoo, don't talk nonsense. But this is your man. He is so strong. Shock was of course incomparably shocking. Any one of the three attributes that Lin Xian possessed would be considered strong. However, all three of them were actually possessed by one person. In any case, Wang Xintong had never heard of anyone with three attributes, not to mention three rare attributes, and one of them was the space. Bah, you're not my man. Then what is it? At most, I'm still your boyfriend. Then he'll be your man sooner or later. Lin Xian said with a smile. No way. Wang Xintong cutely rolled her eyes at Lin Xian and stood up. This is for you. Lin Xian handed the gene enhancement potion to Wang Xintong. This is... Don't think about it. Use it first. Oh, of course, Wang Xintong believed in Lin Xian. In this world, Lin Xian was the person she trusted the most. There was no one else who could compare to him. He was also the only person she could rely on. After using the gene enhancement potion, Wang Xintong revealed a shocked expression. She even thought that she had misheard the notification from the God's Child system. Choose the light attribute. Lin Xian said. Compared to the light attribute was naturally stronger. She naturally wanted to improve the light attribute. Then, Wang Xintong chose the light attribute. Her body glowed faintly with a golden light. My light attribute has increased by 20%. Wang Xintong looked at Lin Xian in disbelief. 20%. That's good. When you were in the Sky Martial Court, was your light attribute above or below the passing line? 10% above the passing line. Lin Xian pondered for a moment. In other words, your light attribute has reached 90%. That's enough. After saying that, Lin Xian rubbed her slightly wet hair. Go back and take a shower. Look at your hair. It's so sweaty that it's sticking together. It's not smooth at all. Wang Xintong stuck her tongue out shyly. Her mood was much better now. She did not expect Lin Xian to have such a thing. She was inexperienced and did not know if there was such a gene medicine in the world. Therefore, she was not too shocked. Instead, she was grateful to Lin Xian. After that, Lin Xian sent Wang Xintong home. While she was taking a shower, Lin Xian made her a simple bowl of noodles. Damn it! Didn't I say I was going to be a scumbag? Why am I so warm? I should be the nation's boyfriend, right? The best man in the country. Sigh, I'm still a warm man. A scumbag isn't suitable for me. Lin Xian narcissistically muttered to himself. What are you talking about? Wang Xintong's voice came from behind. Lin Xian immediately turned around. F***ck. Did she hear my narcissism? This was a little awkward. I said you're really pretty. Lin Xian smacked his lips on her pink cheeks, causing her to blush. Wang Xintong was wearing pink pajamas. She was clean and smelled good. She was really beautiful. Eat your noodles. I'm going back first. He scooped a bowl of noodles for her and said, "Ah, you're going back just like that?" Wang Xintong was disappointed. However, she was also very satisfied. Lin Xian specially went to see her, and even sent her home. He even made noodles for her. Why? You can't bear to leave? Then I won't go back. I'm going to take a shower. Hearing Lin Xian's words, Wang Xintong suddenly understood something. Shower? It's noon. Why are you taking a shower if you're not sweating? Obviously you're going to do it. Then you should go. Wang Xintong rolled her eyes at Lin Xian. Hee, now that you mention it, I won't go. Last night, Linglong Shui and Bing Lingyue made him too angry. Now that he was in Wang Xintong's house and she was his girlfriend. Hee. Go ahead. Help me prepare my pajamas. I'm going to take a shower. After saying that, Lin Xian walked into the bathroom. Soon, Wang Xintong heard the sound of the shower. Her little face was completely red. What should I do? What should I do? Is Lin Xian really going to do something to me later? Should I reject him? After all, they had just established their relationship a few days ago. But she couldn't bear to reject him moreover. She had already planned to repay Lin Xian a few days ago. Wang Xintong sat at the table and slowly ate her noodles with a red face. You're tuning in to the Earbook Haven YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.